your attention, please? It's time.
That's way different. You talk different, I'm made different. Walk different and behave different. All different ain't the same different.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Straight Up TV. Today is June 10th, 2025. I'm your host, All-Star, and she is
your Texas queen. Hello, you beautiful people out there.
What's going on, Queen? How are you?
I'm doing good today. It's Tuesday. I got a job and I got a show to do.
Listen, hey, we have an awesome live stream tonight, but remember, when we get through, I want you to tell me about driving your slingshot to the sling net, because that was what, 3 hours for you?
It was 3 hours. And I am representing them dolls today with this attire that they gave me, y'all. The event was great, and we're going to talk about that after we talk to these two legends.
Yep. This is fun. You know, we've been talking about this Slingshot Famous for a while. It comes up in different random conversations and stuff like that. So I'm glad I finally put it to an actual podcast. You know, I think a lot is going to come out of this, Queen.
Yes, a lot of people are probably glad to get the Slingshot Famous to rest. Let people know who they really are.
Now I'm going to say, Queen, All-Star, me. 2015 slingshot owner, 10 years. So I have an idea because I had a slingshot in 2015, brand new. Mm-hmm. I was a witness to what was famous and what was really happening. So, for instance, one of the gentlemen on here, he was throwing shows across the United States. I was a slingshot owner going to those shows. So I witnessed all the people coming to him at his show. The other gentleman, I was buying his creations, the parts that he was creating for the slingshot, the aftermarket parts, the speaker pods, all the things he was doing. I was a slingshot owner from year to year buying. I was purchasing his creations for the slingshot. So that's why I selected these two gentlemen, because when I bought my slingshot, I watched them evolve into what they are now. So we're not taking away from nobody else, Queen. We're not taking away from nobody else. Okay. I'm just saying, in my eyes, as a 2015 slingshot owner, when there was nothing to do, you're trying to figure out what we're going to do. These two gentlemen right here jumped out in front, and they were leaders. They were creating things for the slingshot. So that's why I picked these two guys.
Understand? You have firsthand knowledge. Got it.
Firsthand knowledge. Listen, the first SS Takeover, I was riding behind one of these gentlemen. Okay. Yeah. It's like that. So no, this is not a knock on anybody else, but I wanted to recognize these two guys because I witnessed what these guys were doing. That's all.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense. Got it. Hope everyone else understand. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
We got people in the comment, man.
Of course. Let me see.
We're on
Facebook. We got Trey Henderson. Hey, Trey Henderson. He's the first one logged in. Mr. James Hundley. I ain't seen you or seen that name in a minute. How you doing? Justin Wilson, man, when you coming back out?
King Kong?
That's King Kong. When the hell you coming back out? You, your son, one of y'all. I know Jameer didn't graduated, but he probably saying, forget y'all old folks, because he was a baby boy. Mm-hmm. And then we got Smitty. I don't know how to say Smitty's name. Sigourney.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Say Smitty.
Never mind, it's Smitty.
Say Smitty.
It is Smitty, damn it. That's who we got. That's on Facebook. Shoot, YouTube, man, they are already in here. Who was our first one? Our Miss Paradise. I got to give her all this. The Dice Game. She is the first one that logged into YouTube. Thank you, Miss Paradise. Murder City. Who Murder City?
That's ATL. That's ATL.
ATL. Okay, Mercy. Hey, Mr. Shane Ferguson. Hey, Miss Greta, because I know you somewhere around. Hey, honey. Kenny Wise. Is this the husband? Is this the beautiful wife? Hey, Miss Lori and Corey. How are y'all? Darwin Hawkins, Mr. D Solo. Hey. And
Battle.
thank you guys for joining us. LJ, you slipping way down. Well, you don't even need a number because you slipping. And then Miss Jennifer Watson, Jay Morgan. Hey, Dragon. I sure want to talk to Dragon about how he felt when he was battling that other dragon in Murder Beach.
Yeah.
I'll see him at one of these events.
Yeah. I know Dragon had to see that video I posted. But
of their battle.
You know, when I make these videos, I never actually talk to the people who in the videos really. You know what? I might do a podcast and ask them how do they feel about when I'm all in their face with the camera. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be a distraction. It could be a distraction.
You could be a bugaboo. You could be a bugaboo.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Miss Carolyn Charles. Honey, did I do y'all justice with y'all's outfit? Y'all got me. Hold on, I gotta show y'all the socks. Y'all see the socks? This is the outfit. I feel like a doll today. And I'm talking about, I got the socks too. They did your girl justice. Thank y'all for my beautiful outfit. I love this shirt. I even wore a bling necklace to, you know how we did the blinging back in the day, them big ass herringbone. Oh, them herringbone chains. Remember them dookie chains?
Is that Flossy? Is that Flossy Floss?
Oh, baby, Flossie came and cleaned up. Y'all wait till after the show. Flossie came. She saw it and she took home every damn thing.
Yeah.
Baby took her ass back to Cali. Down, girl. Miss Cynthia West, hello. Hey, Big Doctor and Big O. What's up, Big O? Those are our wonderful people. Oh, D Nice is in the chat and on Facebook, and so is Lucas. Kenneth Reed. Hey, Kenneth Reed. I'll be checking y'all's comments. So I'll say all of y'all's questions that y'all have for these two legends.
Yeah. All right, guys. Like I said, this is a live stream I've been wanting to do for some time now, man, because this word comes up. This word comes up quite often, Slingshot famous and stuff. So I wanted to do this for a while now. And now it's here. So, Queen, let's get it going. So, ladies and gentlemen, from 2015 to 2020, I was a Slingshot owner. And these are the two gentlemen I want to recognize as Slingshot famous when it was nothing. When the Slingshot was brand new and everybody was trying to figure out what to do. One of these gentlemen, he actually created a platform event that we could all go to. And the movement that he started was phenomenal. As he went to different states and different cities, he brought out all the Slingshot owners and gave us a whole weekend to act up. You got mob rides, you got everything going on. So let's get him in here, right? The first gentleman I want to bring in here, I want to recognize Slingshot famous is he got a lot of names. The first name is The Plug. Mr. SS Takeover, Mr. First to Do It, and James McCrae. Let's get him in here. How you doing, sir?
Really, Jimmy? You know all them names is right. Stop it.
I probably forgot some.
I go by Jimmy.
I was going to say you forgot Jimmy of all the names, right, Jimmy? He forgot Jimmy.
Yeah. What's going on, man?
What's up? How you doing, sir?
I'm all right, cool. I'm tired.
Cool, tired. All right. Well, hold on. Let me get the Slingshot famous gentleman here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our second Slingshot famous guest is Underground UAS. Listen, if you had a Slingshot in 2015, 16, 17, 18, and it was considered hooked up, it was considered customized, you had something that he created for you. Myself, I was a Slingshot owner in 2015, and I had purchased many aftermarket parts from this gentleman right here. So his parts, ladies and gentlemen, were being sold across the United States to different slingshot owners. The impact that his parts had, that if you wanted to look different, if you wanted your slingshot to be recognized, you had to shop with UAS, aka Jack. What's up, Jack?
Hi guys, how are you? What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, Jack.
What is going on, guys?
Was that somebody else's hand that was waving? Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, that was Jack. Yeah, never mind.
No, I have two.
Oh, thank you. I'm
Right.
so glad you have two. Jesus.
Right, guys.
Okay.
Man, I'm glad you guys on here, man. I've been hearing about this slingshot famous from time to time. And like I said, James, Jack, I was riding beside of Jack at the first SS Takeover. Right? When Jack showed up with that white slingshot at the SS Takeover, every one of us was like, what the hell? Clowning on all of us, just clowning on us. And then the other gentleman here, Mr. SS Takeover, was the guy throwing the show in 2016 in Atlanta. So these two guys right here impacted the slingshot world, man, dramatically. You know what I'm saying? Dramatically. We're going to get into Jimmy actually shut down New York Times Square. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into a lot of stuff, man. I want you guys to really open up for me and give us the experience of what you guys did, man. Let's start off with James. James, I want to know how you came up with the SS Takeover. How you came up with that name?
That's crazy. I think we did a ride. Well, I used to do rides with motorcycles and stuff back in the day. And then in 2015, we went on a ride. It took YouTube by storm. And then my man was like, yo, we should call it the Takeover. I'm like, all right, cool. And we just put Slingshot, just took the Slingshot, just bought that. Real simple.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that name, man, it was right on the money, man, because that's what you did when you went to every state and every city. You took over. You took over. It was real. It was real. It was real. So a question is, how did you feel? How did you know, James? How did you know that you had all this attention? The first SS Takeover, the second SS Takeover, how did you know that you had so much attention on you with these slingshots?
Well, it was before the first event. Because you gotta understand, we did a ride in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a text message went out. Exclusive game came out. I ain't know none of these guys. Exclusive game came from this one. He was in New York. Styles came down. A couple of guys from New Jersey, Philly, Richmond, and DC. All over just met up at this gas station. We just did a ride. And then they took over the internet. And Ticket kept calling me. It's like, yo, you need to come to Atlanta. I'm like, nah, bro, you're not coming down there. But, you know what I'm saying? We were just really doing up here. I never knew that we could take it on the road. And then it was like, all right, well, we started going to Jersey, we started going to Philly. And it was like every time I sent a text message out, everybody just popped up. And I think after the fifth phone call, Ticket was like, yo, Polaris wants you to come down here. 2016, we were like, all right, you know what? Let's go. I guess that's when it broke the ice.
But the Queen, this gentleman just said he only sent a text message out. He sent a text message out. So what about Jimmy? Jimmy, what were you doing? Your swag? What? You only sent a text message out and you had all these people showing up for you.
Well, you gotta understand, like, before the Slingshot, I was in the old school cars. I was in the Harleys. For a lot of people, I was to the streets. So it was like I took that street personality and used it with networking. And everybody who had a Slingshot just popped up.
Yeah.
How did Tigger get involved and call you? Everybody know who Big Tigger is if they ever watch, the basement.
You know where Tigger from, though, right?
He's from where?
New York.
Oh, okay.
No, Tigger's from DC.
Oh, he's from DC, not New York. Also,
Right.
Yeah, he lived in DC for a long time, and actually Maryland. So we knew each other from back then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And he asked, okay.
Yeah, Tigger was at the first SS Takeover. Had his slingshot up there in front of everybody and stuff. Had his helmet.
Yeah, he the one who got us to get there. He the one got to be there.
Yeah.
So when was the first, like when did SS Takeover born? Because you said you already had all that before SS Takeover. So when was the first actual one? 2016 or 15? 16?
The event.
The
The
event.
rally was in 15.
Right. But the event, SS Takeover event.
Right. First Polaris SS Takeover event was at the racetrack in Atlanta.
16. Okay.
16.
Yeah.
16, right, Jack? Because that's when you came down there, right? Oh, 16,
Yeah, 2016. That was an amazing event.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's when we
Vendors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a question too, James. Was there a sound competition 2016?
It was and it wasn't. It wasn't set up like it's set up now. It was just like the bikes got in line, and it was like who got the loudest slingshot. That's all it was. Like
one class. It was just one class of.
It wasn't no classes. It was no class. It was you play, you play, you play, you play. Who like who? That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
There it is. This is the history, ladies and gentlemen. This is the history.
Right.
I think the first sound competition was might have been 17 or late 16. It was in Atlanta, and it was at exclusive game at T's place, and he was making trophies or something, or a trophy or something. I don't know.
I thought we did. No, we was at the raceway.
Maybe that's what it was.
It was the raceway.
I know he was going to make. Okay.
Yeah, he was making some stuff.
So it was 20.
Yeah, it was 16. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't call it a sound competition. It was just more like who had the loudest slingshot, because I think that's when you built Josh's bike. That's when Josh had the red bike, correct? And you had
that was later.
It was later. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was later. The white one. Yeah, I think that was. Well, either way, but it was. I do remember the very first sound competition. I know it was something to do with Atlanta, and I know T was making the trophy. That's all I know.
Yeah, we was definitely alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So James, like after the first SS Takeover, what was some of the feedback from the slingshot owners? Because I'm curious. Because you went on. It's been 10 years now. So what was the feedback from the first one to the second one that made you push this thing to where it was? Because we ain't even got to Times Square yet.
Well, see that. So the first one wasn't really. It was a show, but it wasn't a show. Polaris put it on. They gave trophies for I guess the best paint, stuff like that. You gotta understand, it was a lot of slingshots, but it wasn't a lot of themed slingshots. People ain't had things. It was a couple of colors and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So after 16, we doubled back and we was just going city to city, and it was like it really wasn't an event. We really didn't do anything. It was just more. We was just going state to state having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Until my friend was like, "Yo, you should get paid for this. Let's do something different." But you gotta understand, we was doing sound competitions up in New Jersey. So then it was like, okay, well, let's move down south with it.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was
crazy.
always called
Yeah, I
SS
remember,
Takeover. It was nothing else, right? It's always been SS.
It was always SS Takeover.
Yeah.
Never done that.
Yeah. I mean, people used to come because, if you remember, the only two colors you could get a slingshot in were charcoal gray and red in 15 and in 16, I think. But so the goal of everybody was to change it and do something different,
Mm-hmm.
So, and everybody wanted to show it off, it was, let's face it, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people, they enjoy showing their own, diversity and style in their slingshot across the community. So
But I want to say 2016, we did another party in DC before we did the Atlanta show. Everybody bike was different. Like no one had regular stock paint, especially from up Jersey. Styles, he was the first one that had the gated glass in the hood, the hood that light up,
Yeah.
light up, the fender light up. He was the first one. You know, was the first one with an orange one. It was different. Everything was different.
And you said orange before the 2017 orange?
Yeah. We first of all, let's make this clear. We made change all the colors of the slingshots because 2015, 16, I had a white slingshot. You know what I'm saying? Before Jack took it, you know what I'm saying? Like I had a white slingshot. So it was like Boot had orange, Styles had a water-based color. It was all colors already.
Okay.
No, first thing I did, I got my first slingshot in 2014. The thing I did was turn it white. I mean, that was the very first thing I did was turn it white.
Jack freezing a little bit.
Make wheels.
Freezing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Now you back. Well,
he has an X on his Wi-Fi.
All right, you back, Jack. You're back now.
Okay. Yeah. So in 2014, first thing I did was turn my out.
Jack, you go in and out.
Yeah, Jack, you going in and out. So is your Wi-Fi turned on?
You know, he in a stick.
I'm actually on a laptop. So.
Yeah.
In a stick. Yeah, Jack was the first one with the white and black slingshot.
Yeah.
And the speakers. I think that's who got everybody into the sound competition. You know, I only saw one person on the East Coast up in Philly with the big speakers first. That was Snoop. And then when we met Jack in 2016, he had the Tombstone, all the crazy parts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And what year was that again, Jimmy?
2016.
16. Okay.
I think I'm back on.
You're back, Jack. You're back.
Right, perfect. Sorry. Yeah, I got a couple different Wi-Fi networks here, and it keeps switching in between. But
them was days. That's where Jack took my slingshot down the floor on the Amtrak.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was some good times. I mean, I used to go into Virginia and pick up 3-4 slingshots, bring them down on the Amtrak back to Florida.
Amtrak meaning the train?
Yeah. And turn around and send them right back up and then pick up more. I mean, it was like a rotation.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, James, you never told me what was some of the feedback from like the first SS Takeover that made you keep pushing this thing. What were these slings? Because you had people coming out.
All right, so you gotta understand, back then it wasn't about events. It was just a bunch of guys that wanted to ride and have fun from all type of different networks, different sources. We just wanted to ride. That was it. It was never about an event.
Yeah.
So when it really came to an event, then it was like, all right, we're gonna keep going. But it was like, yo, hey, when you gonna do another ride? All right, cool, we're gonna go here. And it was just like that. That was it.
So it's considered a ride instead of an event. Like when like we said, hey, who's the next event?
We were just hooking up. We wasn't even doing anything. It was hooking up. It was, hey, what you doing this weekend? Man, fuck it, we about to go to Atlanta. Because I'm quite sure y'all saw us in Atlanta more than one time.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's crazy. So Jimmy, let's talk about Times Square, man. To walk us through that. How did that happen, man?
In what year?
And what actually happened? Jimmy?
That was 2017.
2017. Okay.
2017. Man, you had my man Radio, my man Styles. It was a lot of New York, New Jersey, Philly. It was people from all over. You know what I'm saying? We sent a text. We're like, yo, we're going to do a New York ride. We're going to meet in D.C. and we're going to ride up to New York. So some of the guys from Jersey came down from Jersey all the way to DC. We started in DC, then we went to the Maryland house, then we went to Delaware house, and then we stopped along the way up in Philly. Philly met us off the highway, and then we went to New Jersey, then we ended up in New York. I want to say the person who was the furthest that came was Jamie Roy from Kentucky. They came in to do the ride. I don't know, it was probably over about 200 slingshots. It was it was crazy.
James, you go to jail?
Yeah.
You went to jail. I remember you went to jail.
I ain't getting that part yet.
Wait, you went to jail.
So
went to jail.
Have you ever been in New York before?
Yes.
Yes.
So they got a little thing up there called Dykeman and Harlem and all that. So they, the guys from New York, New Jersey took us through there. By the time we got to Times Square, we was probably about, I want to say 5 to 10 blocks long, full of slingshots. By the time we got to the stairs, right where the ball dropped, traffic just stopped. People came out the little stands and was just taking pictures. It got crazy. Man, the police came from nowhere. And he's like, "Oh, everybody pull over." So everybody pulled over. This was the second time in Times Square though, because I think I got locked up in 2018, not 17. This was the second time. The second time when we was there, that's when I got locked up. It was crazy. Police pulled us over. I had a warrant from 7 years ago for traffic tickets and shit. Got the club, something crazy, $25.
Wow.
And it was so crazy because it was a lot of slingshots, and they was trying to take people's license, and it was like, man, you had people just leaving. We had people leaving their bikes. Like, yo, we ain't trying to talk to the police. It was crazy. The police took my license. They was about to lock somebody else up that looked like me.
Oh.
And I was like, nah. They was like, yo, I'm like, that's me. They was like, all right, cool. They locked me up for $25. Yeah.
How long did you stay locked up? Just a day?
Yeah, they did. One big homie in New York, one of the slingshot riders, ended up telling everybody. Jamie sent somebody up there for me the next day. It was cool. It was all right. We made history though. Like, the police was like, yo, both sides came out. The AM and PM came out to break it up. They was like, yo, we ain't never seen no shit like this before. Yeah, that was epic. That was epic night.
Yeah. So James, y'all didn't keep it moving. The thing that broke the law was y'all just was sitting there.
No, first of all, we never broke the law.
Get it clear, James.
Wait, James. You said
no, we never broke the law. Think about it. If I'm driving down the street and you come to a stop sign, right? And you got thousands of people just get in the middle of the street. What are you supposed to do? You supposed to run somebody over? That's breaking the law if you hit somebody.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what did I do wrong?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah.
You say you guess.
Hey, quick, my bad. Listen,
man,
Jack,
I got locked up twice on a slingshot for an event.
James, your slingshot was in the front. You was the very first slingshot up front. How did they know you? How did they pick you out?
Why did they pick you?
How did they pick the plug out?
I'm saying I was up front, and it was like they didn't know. They didn't know me. I was up front, and give me your license. There's nothing you could do when it's 1,000 police blocking the street. Give me your license. So when they told everybody make that left, they was taking licenses, pulling people over. Then some people was like trying to go this way, go that way. We blocked traffic up for 10 blocks.
How long? How long was it a jam or traffic was at a standstill?
Probably about 15, 30 minutes. You got to think about it. It was nowhere to go.
Right.
And you got all the Jersey guys, New York guys playing music, people taking pictures. Like, what are you supposed to do? You can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, Jack, did they have all the ones that Jimmy just said was playing music? Did they have your box?
Oh, this shit. Everybody had music.
Yeah.
I was just wondering that they use UAS. So
that's the only possible town.
Gotcha. Right.
Yeah. Now, James, back then, New York, they have a helmet law, right? So I'm assuming y'all didn't have no helmets on either.
Okay, let's be clear for the people. We never wore helmets.
That's why you broke the law.
Yeah.
No, technically no, because on your slingshot, if you take that stick off, how the police know you're supposed to wear a helmet with it? Because you don't know if it was an autocycle. They didn't know if it was an autocycle, a motorcycle, or a car.
Yep.
I'm resident in another state, a state that I don't have to wear a helmet. So if I'm coming through your state, all right, cool. But if you got to think about it, 17, 18, they didn't even know the law like that.
That's true. That is so true. It was still so shady or gray area about it.
And you got to understand, back then, to have a slingshot, you was somebody back then. It was like now everybody getting them. Back then, it was like you was somebody different to have a slingshot.
Queen, that was your boy all-star in Georgia and North Carolina.
The average Joe didn't have a slingshot.
Yeah, because the vehicle was just so amazing. Like everybody wanted to know what the hell it was. Nobody knew what it was. So yeah, you're right. For people to have it, you damn sure was famous. Look, you was somebody.
Yeah.
Back in the early days, right?
All right, Queen. We got anybody on? We on Twitch tonight. We on YouTube. We on Facebook. When we come back, when you do your announcements, we're gonna get into UAS. We're gonna talk UAS, and then we're gonna combine the two because these two guys have been working together in some years. They've been working together. So let's recognize some people, and then we go to Jack.
Please, we got Mr. Snow in the house. Hey, Snow. Of course, you know he talking shit. I'm sorry, not James. Jack. He calling you the twerk king. So, hey, Mama Doug. Mama Doug's in the house. Sean Hudson, Big Rod. What's up? Are you only saying what's up to Jack? Because I see Mid-South only saying what's up to Jack. I better look back in here and see everybody. Okay, I see the plug. Okay, I see Queen Austin. I'm just saying, Big Rod, I was about to clown you. You do have a super chat from Miss Jessica. And by the way, Jimmy, Jessica just moved to Texas. And we know Snow had already moved to Texas. So big old two that already moved to Texas. We'll take y'all. Monique Davis, hey, First Lady.
How you
doing? What does Big Rod say? He say, don't do it, Queen. I saw, I was going to check. Make sure your butt had us in there. And then on Facebook, we got, hey, Miss Dana. How are you doing, ma'am? John Bettis, Catherine, what does that say? Bama Chick? Okay, Miss Catherine Bama Chick. And then, hey, Big Will, what's going on with you? And Trey Henderson is still in there saying, AKA the SS Takeover, and Jack Underground is in his house. Nevada Sling Blue. I'm sorry, Nevada Blue Slings. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to put my glasses on, but I'm trying to be cute. Hey, Mr. Undertaker. Mr. Undertaker is watching on Facebook. Sandy Davenport. Hey, Miss Sandy. I know your event's coming up. Clay Whitfield. Clay Whitfield is
ATL.
He's woo.
ATL.
Is it Moonshot? No, I'm sorry, Clay. I forgot again. I apologize. And then D Nice is also he's asking you, can you make change the privacy setting? Because he wants to put it on Slingshot Famous group. So I guess you must have it blocked where he can't get on there. But you do have that super chat from Miss Jessica Montoya.
Super chat. Thank you, Miss Jessica Montoya. Much love to Queen and All-Star. Man, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jessica. And then Mr. Moet. Moet, people call you Moet and Moetta. I don't see no ER unless they trying to say something about you getting somebody wet. Okay, now that's a whole other show. Anyway, you got a super chat from Moet.
Yep. Moet the painter, sir. Thank you for that super chat, sir. Thank you so much. I'm glad Jack agreed to move me in the rental with the $150K salary. Laugh out loud.
Okay, that must be an inside thing between Jack.
Jack posted one of his properties online. I'm thinking that's what that is.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to two of the Slingshot famous guys from 2015, from the beginning to 2020. 2020. And ladies and gentlemen, we're not taking away from nobody else. I just was a 2015 guy, and I watched these two guys do what they did in the first couple years. So we're going to go over to UAS. And Jack, thank you for coming on with us. Jack, I want to know how you came up with Underground. How did you come up with Underground?
My hobby when I was a kid was competing in sound competitions.
Oh.
And I did, this is from when I was like 17, 16, 17, 18. And I played like different style, like different kinds. So everything from SPL to sound quality to like install stuff. I had fish tanks in my car, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 kids by the time I was 18. So I started life young. I went into finance and got out of car for a long time. When my son turned 15, I bought him an Ford Excursion and a Toyota Supra. And we just had a blast with it. And I started putting systems in it. And basically, I lived in a fancy neighborhood on the water, and we were working out of the garage. All his buddies were coming over, and we were hooking up stereos. And association kind of said, "Get the hell out of here!" So we opened a shop. Opened a shop as a hobby, and next thing you know, it just kept growing and growing and growing and growing. So in 2007, Underground Auto Styling formed, and we always, I was known for like motorization, iPads, crazy things, crazy stuff. If you look back on my YouTube channel, I have millions of views, like subscribers, all that stuff. I kind of don't keep up with any of that stuff, which I regret, but
yeah.
So we make parts. We still to this day make parts for Jeeps, trucks, side-by-sides, Broncos, exotic cars, stuff like that. But in 2014, when the Slingshot came out, we fell in love. So it was different. It was something I enjoyed. I was kind of building all kinds of really cool cars for all kinds of people, celebrities, athletes, executives. I built stuff for Coca-Cola, Budweiser, different McDonald's Corp, stuff like that. I did a lot of stadiums, the F1 races or the NASCAR races in Homestead, stuff like that. So my background was also always audio and then coming up with cool styling. And but when the Slingshot came out, it was so different that it was my baby. And so, like I said, I turned it white right away. Kind of all white everything was kind of my thing. I used to have white cars, still do actually. But some of them now have some yellow on them, but we won't talk about those. But no, again. So my biggest thing was we had our business. Slingshots just became like a side thing, and we just wanted to create things that weren't available. And I wanted to create custom looking parts that are available to the average person. So, we created ported boxes, speaker pods. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the word waterfall when it comes to a speaker pod. Well, that's my name. I came up with that,
That's what I'm talking about. Queen, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I got Jack on here right now. For this. Jack, keep going, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, headrest pods, gap fillers, anything that you see a name for, tombstone pods, kick panel pod, everything you see a name for, it was because I had to create a name for our website and also Sling Mods. Obviously, Sling Mods is a big, reseller of our product. They've been since the day, they opened, they've been selling our products. So, we do a huge, tremendous volume with them as well as through other dealers and sellers and stuff like that. So, but it's always solving some issue. You're hot, I'm going to create something to take care of it. Floor mats, seat covers. I mean, I used to do all that stuff. It's like I don't do as much in certain fields anymore because it's just not feasible or you know, or you know, things like that. But certainly, you know, front end styling, stretches, like obviously, you know, things like that. I always want to create a solution to a problem or make something better, or you know, things like that. So, you know, it's a passion for me, and slingshots were a passion, and I loved it. I had a blast. You know, I owe Jimmy a ton of gratitude because, you know, his shows. I mean, I remember pulling up in a truck, opening up my tailgate. You know, I felt like one of those guys who opens their coat. I'd sell out in 5 minutes at his show. You know, I mean, that's the kind of. And then Jimmy had my number, and I was hard to get a hold of, and everybody used to call Jimmy. Everybody, like, hey, I need this, I need that, you know. And Jimmy was like, all right, you know. So, you know, that's how it was in the beginning. You know, I mean, I had a website. I was selling through Sling Mud. It doesn't matter. Everybody still called Jimmy and was like, hey, hook me up. I need this, I need that.
He was the plug.
The plug. You know, so, you know, again, I mean, we did a huge volume of business before, and styling and all that before slingshots. So slingshots didn't make us. That wasn't, but slingshots are my passion. Everybody wonders, like, why is my news feed always, not that I post hardly anything that we do, but I'm terrible at marketing, but it is my baby, you know. And I mean, Jimmy can tell you, he's been, you know, we've been hanging out and doing stuff since the beginning. I mean, but I built some badass Jeeps. I mean, Jeeps for major celebrities, and always all white, everything. I mean, if you look at this stuff,
I had his Jeeps in Maryland and the East Coast up here.
Yeah. I mean, I had iPad Pros as my dash in a Jeep. I had motorized stuff. They'd flip open. They'd do this, that, you know. So I kind of took that experience and went into slingshots. I mean, there's certain things you don't really do. Like, I'm not a big fan of iPads and slingshots because of the heat issue, you know. So, you know, yes, we had an iPad kit for a short time. We just let it go because it's just not. It looks great at night, but that's about it, you know. So, but to this day, we still make products that just are different, cool, and serve a purpose. So,
right. So D Nice is saying you was Pimp My Ride before Pimp My Rides. I don't know when they came out, but I know everybody remember
I wouldn't say before, but yeah, I mean, it, you know, we definitely.
You Pimp My Slingshot.
Yeah.
Okay, right, because Pimp My Ride wasn't doing slingshots.
Hey, you know what's crazy? He did that to me when I first met him. He was like, "Let me take a slingshot." He was like, "Bro, you gonna let the white man take a slingshot?" Like, call it to their stolen. He took it. This one I had the hydro dip. I'll never forget this. I was the first one with hydro dip, and shit was ugly. It was different.
You said it was ugly?
The way it was done.
The way it was done, it was ugly. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy charged me probably about $5,000, and he fucked it up. Jack came up to DC. We did that's what I'm saying. We did a ride in DC. He came up to DC. He like, yo, let me just take a slingshot. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. Like, all right, cool, fuck it. Brought it back with different speakers on the side, took all my music out, painted my bike, pinstriped it, everything. It was like, it was different. I think that's what broke the ice for Jack up the Mason Dixon line up here. You know what I'm saying? Because no one knew about underground. And everybody like, where you get these cars from? Then it was just it was like it was that crazy. Yep.
So Jack, when you go to a slingshot event and you walk through a body of slingshots and you see your hard work on each slingshot, how does that feel, Jack?
Yeah, I've been saying that for years and years. I mean, it's humbling, you know, like it's great. It's great to walk and see our products on so many slings. I mean, we're not going to be on everyone's sling, but I tell you what, like it's just amazing to see, and it's cool to see like how many people like it and enjoy it and like the look, you know. And I mean, we still make some stuff that I look at and I'm like, damn, that's sexy, you know. Like to this day, it's just, you know, it's great to see. I mean, and I mean, obviously we're a business, but it's more than that to us. You know, we again, we just want to create cool stuff, bring new stuff, and if it can help, you know, a solution or make it better or do something that nobody else has done before, that's what we're always trying to do. And you know, basically, it's cool to see our products on so many slingshots. I think Monique at one time, she was at some show. I think it might have been Sling Experience or something, and she said something about, holy crap, like almost every slingshot there had something of ours on there. And this was, you know, one of the original Sling Experiences, like
2019 or
oh, come on, what year was this? What year?
That matters. What year was it, Jack? That matters.
What year?
19 maybe? I don't know.
All right, cool. It's 18.
Was not Sling Experience.
18?
18. I put the Sling Experience together with them.
Yes. No, I was there.
Sling Experience,
I was there.
Hold on, listen.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Nobody. I started Sling Experience.
You did.
I started Sling Experience for them.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you
I was
why.
there.
And
I
a lot of people don't see this, and a lot of people don't know the backstory.
They sure don't.
It was Mark and Storm, and then they had a girl named Toya. Them people wasn't working together in Houston.
Correct.
At all.
Correct.
We said, you know what? Hey, yo, we going to Houston. And see, this when I was really like messing with Polaris, like call a rep, yo, we want to go to Houston. All right, cool. We're going to put it together. I showed them how to cut all the checks. Hey, pay Mark. I paid Storm. Everybody got paid. We came together. Houston was a fucking fight.
Houston was epic, and I think the start. I'm just saying, I was there.
It was the blast.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember it was 18 Houston. I won the sound competition.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
Told me the
I have my trophy somewhere.
Yeah, BG stole the best picture, I think, of slingshot history.
Yeah.
All sitting there. That was the second best slingshot picture to me for history. The first one was New York. But
when we was at Bombshells, is that the picture you're talking about?
Yes.
At Bombshells, yes.
I'm still trying to get that picture. So if Monique watching this or BG watching this, I need to get it.
I have to look back for that picture.
Yes, that was the best shit.
It
right
was.
Yeah.
And trust and believe, All-Star. Oh, go ahead, James.
No where?
Yeah. When 2018 came and we all heard about Jimmy was coming, we like, Jimmy, you mean, when I say everybody in Texas was fucking super stoked to meet this guy in 2018. Again, sound competition and all that wasn't going on. It was just the big gathering, the big love, that camaraderie. And when all the people showed up at Bombshells and we all I got in because I knew to get there early, but everybody couldn't get in. It was overflow of that place.
Queen.
It was just, I started walking around counting. I was counting. I know Jimmy don't remember this because Jimmy wanted to know how many slingshots was there. Yeah. And so me and my homegirl was walking around counting, trying to see how many it was. And the count was off because people just kept coming. It just would never stop. That shit was so freaking epic. Like, we were so excited that Jimmy was coming to Texas.
Queen. I'm happy about your 2018. But 2016 in Atlanta, we had Big Tigger. We was at the NASCAR racetrack. We were riding around the racetrack racing. Oh, Queen.
The biggest one was Jack. When you make the 4-seater, that was 17, correct?
17.
Because that's when we took over, and that's when 2 Chainz had a Pink House, correct?
Yes. Yep.
That was the best Atlanta right there.
That was amazing. Yeah.
That was the best Atlanta, hands down.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who's in Atlanta now, they wasn't outside then. But I respect all of them. It was crazy, man. That was the epic one right there. That's what made a lot of people buy slingshots.
Yeah.
Real Paul. A lot of people was like, yo, like this shit was crazy. Like,
oh yeah,
that one was epic. That was epic.
Right. Hold on, Jimmy. Let me get the super chat. Big Rod, president of Mid-South Slingshot Club. Thank you for that super chat. He says, triple OG salute to the Plug and Jack for their innovations in the slingshot community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And trust me, that 2018, that's probably why Houston ended up being the biggest seller of slingshots. I don't know if y'all knew that, but Houston was. I can't remember it was 2019 what year, but they were the biggest selling of
Queen Texas was the last.
2018 or probably
Texas was the last one to be legal to sell slingshots. Texas
whatever it was. The point is, baby,
we was already buying slingshots in every other state.
We sold the most out of Houston. I'm telling you.
They sold some slingshots when we was there that weekend.
Thank you. But everybody wanted a damn slingshot when Jimmy came. Everybody wanted one.
Mm-hmm. Jack, I want to know. All right, slingshot got 3 wheels, Jack. What were you doing when you thought, let me put 4 wheels on this thing? Because you did the 4 wheels, you did the 4-seater, you did the 6-seater, you got the school bus now, Jack. So I like to say think outside the box, but you way outside the box, Jack. You way out there.
The stretches were the thing that we absolutely just love to do. I mean, there's so many reasons to do it, so the 4-seater, I didn't want to make it too long. So I think I kept it where it was more like a coupe with us seats in the back, so, it just, I still think to this day, I look at a 2-seater and I feel like a 4-seater looks normal to me. And a 2-seater looks small.
That's the new normal.
It's like, I don't know what it is, but I absolutely love our 4-seaters. I think they're perfect size. Obviously we make different variations. We make the XL. I mean, you could look at everybody's Big Will, Boss and Bougie. I mean, all these 4-seater XLs, Beast, the new Beast. But
the new Beast.
What about Clay? What about Clay with the 4 wheels?
Yeah, the 4 wheels. So we built in 1 year, I think we did 6, maybe 7 4-seater 4-wheel conversions. And Clay was one of them. And we made a whole back end. He wanted it closed in, wanted something different nobody had. Because everybody had 4-wheel conversions, they were open. And so we made fenders for it, made a rear thing. He was from Atlanta. It was orange at the time. Him, Chris Freeman, who lived in Orlando. He actually lived a few doors down from Shaq, from Shaq's house. He was kind of one of those internet famous guys, for his trucks and his builds and everything else. And we did one for him. It was a white one. I think somebody just bought it recently. It has really big deep dish wheels on the back, but that was another first one. His might have been the very first 4-seater 4-wheel. And what's that?
Dre bought those wheels. Talking about Chris with the black one?
No. That was another one. Chris, I think that slingshot sold. Somebody bought it recently, but it was I think they were American Force wheels. It was in the SEMA booth at American Force. So they're still on it because somebody just bought it recently. Okay. But I mean, the 6-seater, so obviously the 4-seater we developed. I mean, we've done over 1,800 stretches now. Like we keep track. Over 1,800 total stretches. Now that is not just 4-seaters. That includes 6-seaters, mini stretches, stuff like that. But I mean, that's a tremendous amount of volume on stretches. Yeah. But and a lot of them, the spike was after 2020 when the automatic, All-Star you mentioned.
That's what I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you, Jack. How did that affect you doing stretches when they changed?
We were doing 6-7 stretches a week. Sometimes some weeks we had 13, other weeks we had like 5 or 6. But I would say about 60% of them were rental companies because all of a sudden you had automatics and they were doing rentals. Because I remember when we had a couple rentals and they were like, "Oh, do you have an automatic? Do you have an automatic?" And yes, there were conversions, but there were issues with them. They were super expensive to do in the automatic conversion. So when Polaris came out with it, it was the floodgates just opened. Plus, it was when people had like extra time with the COVID stuff and all that. So that drove the 4-seaters, through the through the next hemisphere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I mean, they're still steady. I mean, I have two just got dropped off last week from a rental company, so two brand new ones, and it's I think I've done maybe 19 or 20 with that one company. I mean, it's crazy, I mean, yeah. So, we definitely get a ton of repeat business. I mean, we stand behind our work. In anything you do, there's gonna be an issue, but we take care of it. Bring it to us, we'll fix it. It doesn't matter. Like it's, but we've never had a failure on our frame. We offer a lifetime warranty on that. So, we developed it. We know how to do it. We've done every model of Slingshot, every year of Slingshot. We've had the growing pains. We know exactly what is wrong with this year and what this one does. And so, and like I said, I mean, people trust their lives. When you chop a vehicle in half and, you're going 100 miles down the road, you want to trust somebody that's done it numerous times. So, But with that said, there were 5 big guys, including myself, Smitty, another one, and a couple other, a few other dudes, and one skinny guy. And we decided to build a 6-seater. And Jimmy had an event. I think it was in Sarasota, Tampa. I forget where it was. It was one of his events.
You muted, Jimmy. You're muted.
Oh, when you did the 6-seater?
6-seater, yeah.
No, that was in Sarasota.
Okay. So, but we drove it to Tampa or somewhere, right?
Yeah.
We drove it somewhere that was like 40 minutes away from our shop. But we decided a couple weeks before to build the 6-seater just as a joke.
Yeah.
I said, I'll just build it just to say we can do it, do all this. And so it's at the shop. The very first day, we never tested it. The guys just finished it the night of the show. Like I said, it was like 5 big dudes and then one skinny guy. And we all got in a 6-seater. Maiden voyage, we drove to Jimmy's show. And literally, like, that was the debut of the 6-seater, which was crazy. Then later on that night, I think Dummy or Dre, we're doing donuts.
Yeah.
Seater.
Yeah. I thought that was Jimmy doing the donuts.
No,
Jimmy was doing them in the 4-seater.
In the 4-seater. Okay, Jimmy did it in 4-seater.
Yeah, Jimmy took whatever girl I was with at the time and like started doing donuts with her in his parking lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Say, James, why you don't have a 4-seater yet, sir?
Why
you don't have a 4-seater yet?
Y'all can give me one?
Yeah. You know how the plug works.
Yeah.
But no, so that was the 6-seater. And then, I said, I like I said, we built it just to say we could do it as a joke. And I thought I would never build another 6-seater. I think there's not that many, but there's probably 20.
6-seaters?
6-seaters?
Like, I didn't think I was going to build 2.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not just, so there's a couple rental companies, but for the most part, it's families. I don't see them out that much. I mean, I see once in a while, I'll see a post, but I mean, that was crazy. So then last year at Jimmy's final ride in Miami, we did the same thing. We were like, well, shit, let's debut an 8-seater. So we built an 8-seater and took it there. And of course, we made it look like a school bus. And called the lemon bus. Obviously, everything's lemon now because of friggin' Sarah. But
hey,
but that was a blast. That was an absolute blast. I mean, she drove it. She drove it with the the whole Miami group. SoFlo and everybody else. It was awesome. And now it's sitting out front of my shop. I don't have insurance on it. I don't have anything on it. It's just sitting there. And, I'm thinking to myself, like everybody comes in and wants to rent it, but I don't know. The liability on it's crazy, but I will tell you, I've driven it. There's not a single problem. I mean, that thing drives unbelievably well. It's like so smooth, and that's the thing. Anyone that's ever had a stretch Slingshot from us, I mean, they ride way smoother than a 2-seater, and they flow and everything else. So they handle corner, so that's the great part.
Have you made an 8-seater for anybody yet? Nobody.
No. I don't. I had one guy ask me to build one, but
Somebody in the chat right now is asking.
Let me guess. Big Will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's wanted.
Yeah, he wants one. Bet. I mean, for him, it would. He just likes to sleep in a slingshot. So he likes to lay down in it.
Wow.
So for him, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
When he enters the sound competition, he's laying in the slingshot half the time. So
Yeah. Hey Jack, question. So you've done so many stretches and so many 4-seaters, 6-seaters. So I'm assuming now the time it takes to do a stretch for you is like nothing. I mean, you probably have it down to a science. It's like really like
we do
in and out.
Yeah. No, I mean everything's. So we have different people doing different aspect of each part of it, and everything we have is production. So it is like a factory where, again, in 2020, like I said, we were turning out anywhere between 7 and 13 slingshots every single week, 4-seaters, conversions. So, that was crazy nuts. I mean, right now it's not that many. I mean, we maybe do, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 a week, but still a lot, but it's nowhere near the volume we were doing. So mini stretches are the big thing now. Like we are cranking those things out. I mean, and it's for different reasons, I mean, obviously the audio is the number one reason, but we have service dogs. We have a service dog, a veterans charity that had one done, and I mean they're referring tons of business, and so that people are putting their dogs, the service dogs, in the back of a mini stretch, and different reasons. Like we did one where we had a boom for a wheelchair, so the wheelchair fits behind there, and then taller people or bigger people like them for for that. But like I said, number one reason is audio and not UAS space. So
yeah. Hey, I don't mean to get off this, but Jimmy, at that 2018 show, there was a guy that came. I don't know if he came with you or not. He was in a wheelchair, and he had his wheelchair in the passenger seat. Did he come with you, Jimmy? Yes. What was his name?
He got paddles. Shiz. Shannon.
Look at this dude in a wheelchair. Had it in the passenger seat, baby. He got it out by himself and everything. Got himself in the wheelchair.
Man, go to club and everything with us. He reached over, put his wheelchair on the side.
I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was one of the guys that was out there, 2015, 16. He was running around. I think Jamie Roy had made some parts for him. Jamie Roy was the first one to do an automatic, if I wasn't mistaken. Ain't I right, Jack?
I think so, yeah. And he's did an engine swap too. Like a Honda or something. Air conditioning, he did air for you. You were the first air from Jamie Roy.
Yeah. He was different. Jamie was different.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy, what did the slingshot look like before the one that we all know it as? Because you said Jack did some pinstriping and stuff. So what did it look like before this one?
It was before this one. It was white. Yeah, it was white. I had wrapped it. Well, no, I wrapped it first, and I hydro dipped it. It was different sections, different colors. Like the back part was like some skeleton, some color one. The front was like black and white. So I think Jack took off the side, made it black, painted the middle red, painted the sides. But you got to think about it. I didn't have so many parts. I didn't took parts and fenders. And I had a lot of USA parts. I had a lot of those parts.
Yeah.
So it was right.
Mm-hmm. Hey Jack, what does it mean that you build sexy? What does it mean, Jack? Because some men, what does it mean? What does it really mean when they say UAS, we build sexy? That just means that you design something to where it looks factory made.
Yeah, we try our hardest to, like, a lot, even back in the day when we were doing a ton of like old schools and donks and stuff like that. We did, like I said, we used to do a tremendous amount of audio builds. I always tried to make So back then, like it was really easy to put like rings and fleece and make it all like just put speakers everywhere. I always try to make it hidden or where you couldn't see it, more stealth looking, like hidden behind mesh or grills or where you could certainly hear it, but you didn't necessarily see it. I do like it to flow. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of our pods obviously are larger or this and that, and for practical purposes. But our big thing is we just try to, like I said, everything we do, we just try to make it look sexy. So, you look at, use everybody kind of knows the sling, but so like Game Changer, for instance, like that slingshot is just so clean looking. When you see it in person or anything, it's just clean. And, it's not over the top and it's not, it's just, and that's what I mean. It's just sexy,
I was about to say that it's just sexy. His bike is, so you did great on that one.
And then when he turns it on, it's like, holy shit, like it's even more like impressive, but that's what I mean. It's just something clean and sexy looking. So, our kind of started with the Jeeps because we used to build a lot of all white Jeeps. And, that's what, I forget who the hell it was, but it was somebody we built a Jeep for. And they were like, they just kept saying the word sexy, sexy, sexy. Yeah. And I was like, we build sexy. So,
yeah. Hey, Queen, it's not really easy to create these parts to fit on the slingshot, man. So Jack, what is if you can explain to us, like when you're trying to build something like a speaker pod or a waterfalls or whatever, how hard? You got to make a mold. You got to test it out for a while. You just can't sell it to everybody. You got to have it. You got to test it. You got to do all kind of things to it. So it's probably like stages to where you feel comfortable enough to offer it to the public.
Correct. So we do. So I'm, the one thing I'm good at in life is like creating stuff, and solving problems. So like, I'll have an idea, I'll create it, and then between me and my guys, I'm very hands-on, like I get dirty every single day. So when I'm at the shop, so we'll get there, we'll create something. And then once it's on, we got to make sure it fits, it works, it's going to fit it. This clears this, you're still able to close your seat, open your seat. We don't just build something and then we want to make sure that it fits in a trailer without hitting the bumpers, So if we're going to build a fender pod, we got to make sure that it fits within the tire size. Otherwise, you're taking your fender off just to get, it in. So there's so many variables when it comes to the parts that we make, which are, we make thousands and thousands of parts. Like I think we have 3,000 SKUs. It's something unbelievable. And I'm reducing that just because it's too much as far as like how many things we do. But the best thing that I can say about us is that we're in the United States. We do not outsource anything to China anymore. We used to make some dash kits. Remember those plastic dash kits everybody used to buy them with the
dim doors or dimmy something like that.
Yeah, it was a
waterproof one with the glass and slide up and slide
yep.
up.
Slide right.
Everybody had that, and so that was something we made in China. Okay, like, and then originally it wasn't, but who the hell is going to pay $400 for one plastic piece? So, so to bring it down to $100, $150, we had it made in China. So now we don't make, but then we had issues because then when we needed it the most, I couldn't get it because different things, COVID and this and that. Like, so now everything's made in Sarasota. I can handle any amount of production, any amount of volume that you want. But also, if there's a change or an issue, boom, right then and there, it's available. So that's why I can get stuff to production so fast. So from the moment I decide to create it and open, and I tell her, open the faucet. So as soon as I have it and I can actually make enough to sell, we open the faucet. So it's very costly in development because it's my time, my guy's time. The plug, we have to make a plug, not Jimmy, but an actual, we call it a plug.
Jimmy.
And then you have to make a mold, and then from the mold, then you make the parts. Yeah. So, it does aggravate me, and I never got patents really on a lot of stuff in the beginning. Now I'm starting to do it. So yeah, I have to. But, so a lot of stuff was copied, but, it's it gets frustrating, and then you say, "Ah, shit, why should I create anything new?" You know, but I don't know. I still get driven by the passion, but from concept to production, we can come out way faster than somebody else. So if the model changes or this changes, we're on it. Like when the 2020 came out, the new lights, we were on it. Like, boom, you know, so different things that, you know, because Polaris had a shortage of parts. They couldn't produce. You couldn't buy the parts from Polaris because they were back ordered because everything was in China. So, you know, meanwhile, we had it right there, made in the United States, like, you know, like stuff that would fit on an older Slingshot and everything else. So, you know, again, that's the cool thing about dealing with a small company and a family company, that basically, if you need it, I have it. I'll make it. If you tell me you want something made, I'll make it, you know? So, you know, somebody comes up with something cool, I'm going to now copy it. I don't give a shit. So be careful. You copy me, I'm copying all your shit.
There you go. Go back. Shit, copy it back, damn it.
Nobody makes anything I want to copy right now, but I will eventually.
Jack, me and Queen were talking about you a couple days ago. Have you built Shaq's Slingshot twice or once?
No, 5. He has 5.
He has 5 Slingshots that you built?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Was that in 2018?
No, different years. Everything from probably like 18, and then I think like one a year or one every couple of years, something like that.
But 18 was the first one.
I think it was around 18. Yeah, that's when I met him. Somewhere around there. I don't remember. Maybe 18 or 19. Yeah.
Jack,
I looked
you
it
ain't
up.
gotta.
It was 18. I looked it up, Jack. It was 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jack, you ain't got to answer this, but I went with you and Sarah to T-Pain's house to pick up his Slingshot.
Yeah.
But who you getting the nod to, Shaq or T-Pain?
What?
Well, Shaq, T-Pain's only done one with me. Shaq's done many and other stuff. So, you know, I mean, they're actually both good guys. Now they're doing stuff together. It's like funny to see, you know, but I think they're on a general commercial together, and now they're doing some music stuff together. So it's kind of cool to see, you know. But I don't know. Like T-Pain's sling is pretty clean. The white one with the, you know. But you know, Shaq's my boy. You know, I hang out with Shaq, and you know, multiple times and over the years, and you know, again, he's given me a lot of opportunities to build stuff for him. So
okay.
Jack,
all right, guys. Go ahead.
Question. When is too long, or when is like you shouldn't stretch it too far because now you're messing with the integrity of the frame or whatever? Because somebody's in the chat talking about a 10-seater. Would you have to start putting something in the middle of it? Because now
so every one that we do, even the 8-seater. So the 8-seater is built. I mean, I would feel comfortable with it driving. The way we do our stuff is slightly different, and the way we engineer it slightly different. The way we do our drive shafts. So we can keep going. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I said it with a 6-seater. I'd never build another one, and I think, like I said, we're somewhere around 20. The 8-seater is only one, and you know, if somebody wants to buy it, I'll sell it. But and if Big Will wants one, you know, love him to death. He's such an awesome person. I'll build one for him, but that's about it. I think, you know, unless you're trying to do some kind of like, I know. So there was a company that bought 3 6-seaters that used to pick people up from a cruise and take them for a ride through somewhere.
Okay.
Nice idea.
That was one of. So what I was saying is, if somebody, you know, let's say Disney wanted a 10-seater to bring people along and something, I'd probably do something like that. But, you know, I mean, an 8-seater, it's still long, but it's still within, you know, integrity fine. 10-seater, now you're starting to get really, really long. So
that's what I was wondering. Is there just a cutoff? Like,
I don't know, because I don't think I'll ever build anything bigger than an 8-seater, and I don't think I'll ever really build another 8-seater.
Another 8-seater. Well, let's see, Jack. Let's see. We can rewind this because you're on your 5th 8-seater or something.
Yeah. Let me thank Dragon. Let me thank the Dragon for the super chat. He says, Jack, no more tops like mine. Dragon out.
Yeah.
What is he talking about, Jack? What do you mean?
I think he's talking about his. So we redid Dragon this year, We changed like a little bit of his top and the way his box was and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that's what that means. And it's
Come on, Jack.
he's got a little mini beast there for sure.
Yeah.
That thing, he's a problem. So
All right, guys, man. Listen, man. We've been on here an hour and 15 minutes, man. I want to personally thank you two guys for coming on here, spending some time with me and Queen, man. This was Slingshot famous, man. And like I said, because you guys impacted the Slingshot world, the Slingshot community in other ways that no one else has impacted the Slingshot community. So I wanted to say to you guys from SUTV, you guys are Slingshot famous. Jimmy, from the body of work that you did for going from state to state, city to city, you created a brand that brought people out of their house to your event. You did the mob rides. You went to jail, Jimmy. You went to jail. You went to jail. Two times. So, hey, you Slingshot famous, man. And Jack, hey, listen, we could keep going on with the 4-seaters, the 6-seaters, 8-seaters, the parts, the you build sexy, everything, man. But you guys impacted the Slingshot community in ways that no one else, in my opinion, did not, because I myself was at the SS Takeover. So I was buying your parts. So I'm a witness to what you guys were doing. So thank you for coming on the show. Queen, you got anything you want to say to these two Slingshot famous guys?
Yeah, Battle Cat is saying thanks for the history lesson. Again, a lot of us didn't know some of the things that y'all had said on here. Yeah. I know we've been asking y'all, and Jimmy, you've probably told your story 101 times, but there was still something new we heard and we didn't know about. Same with Jack. Jack didn't know you did 5 slingshots for Shaq, but I mean, and all the other things that you've created. And I hope you are starting to patent your stuff, because it is a lot of people out there doing it. I remember I talked to Martin Zarati one time, and he was kind of frustrated too. But anyway, it was a pleasure. I couldn't wait to talk to you guys. I really was excited about Jimmy, because I wanted to remind Jimmy about that 2018, because I got to be there. And I got to be at the 2018. And then I first seen one of Jack's parts. He had the big old UA. It was at Galveston. And it was white. So I'm not sure if you was in it or not, Jack. So I don't know if I got to meet you or not back in 2018. But that was the first time I seen that big old UAS on top of a hood. And it was a white slingshot. So I'm assuming it was yours. So I'm just one of the ones that was always in the background. But when you like something or know something, I've definitely studied and looked up my history on both of y'all. I can say that I feel like I was a part of it, even though I didn't come around till 2017. But I must have still caught it. I feel like, yay, I got to know some of the legends before everybody else got to, all you 20 years and beyond.
Well, we're also in the presence of a legend here, an OG. I mean, All-Star. What year did you start your podcast?
Hell yes.
21.
Yeah. I mean, that's
absolutely
4 years strong. I mean, it's been 10, 11 years for us, and we're still in the game. I mean, I know Jimmy's like threatening to retire every 6 months, but
right, Jimmy.
Y'all can have it, man. Y'all can have it.
We went to jail twice. Man, went to jail twice.
Hey, listen,
Jimmy.
Y'all made me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it just ain't me. A lot of my friends, a lot of them guys who keep putting the battery in my back to do this for y'all, like without them, it wouldn't have been no SS Takeover. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't like to be called famous. I'm just Jimmy. I never bragged that I did it first, but I did do it first. You did.
Queen. He said, I don't, but I did.
I don't, because like I'm saying, we could go. It's a whole list that we could tap on, but I don't do that because, like I say, like I did this because I loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I always network with any toy I get. Always network. Ask Jack. Jack, when I met you, how many vehicles did I bring to you, Jack?
Side by sides, Jeeps. Yeah.
I always broke records with people. Like I did a Jeep. Everybody in the city got Jeeps. I did a side by side, the first one in the city with tags on it. Like everybody in Philly was calling me like, "Yo, how you get tags on your shit?"
Yeah.
I did it. You know what I'm saying, but I don't
respect. Yes.
But,
No, absolutely.
People, it wouldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? I do it for the network. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
No, I remember.
So you might not retire, or you gonna retire.
somebody just text me. Somebody just text me. They want to do a remix.
How do you think the
August 15, my last ride. It's my last ride.
That's the last ride. Dang.
What about the people that's gonna?
That's what he said last year.
To know you, like,
you right. I did, Jack. I did. It was stressful. It was stressful. You gotta think about it. Let me ask y'all this. And a lot of people will always be like, "Yo, he always get mad and all this." I had a fucking stroke, and I came out and did a fucking show.
I remember that.
Like, ain't nobody say, "Hey, stay the fuck in the house. Don't worry about it." They was like, "Yo, we still having a show." I still did the show, stroke and all. You know what I'm saying? It was, and shout out to all my friends that when I did have my stroke, they tapped in with me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's I do this for the love, man. I do this for the love. So
yeah. So Jimmy, let me tell you, Jim. Jimmy, let me tell you this, because I know I talk a lot of shit, but I be meaning it when I talk shit. I always feel like, Jimmy, you should be up here above all of this nonsense. So when you say people say, "Oh, come why he argue," you shouldn't let people be so accessible to you. You see how people can't get in touch with Jackass. I mean, Jacks. Yeah. You should not be so accessible because you are. I'm not saying you're better than the rest of us. I'm not saying you're
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Because I'm the plug. And as Jack, when people need shit, they always call me. No matter what it is.
Okay.
They're gonna call me first, right? But you're right. Some people can't get a hold of me. You know what I'm saying? But I do fall in the trap with this internet shit.
Yes, you do. And I'd be like, Jimmy, no, just rise. No, Jimmy, no.
You gotta understand. Sometimes it's like you gotta check people. You know what I'm saying? But then you gotta realize, like you said, where I'm at and where everybody else at. But you gotta understand though, Queen, I never put myself up there because, like I told you,
we do.
And listen, and I respect that, but I don't never think I'm better than no one else. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, when I came in this game, I met a lot of other people who did a whole lot of other stuff.
Right.
And we still friends. They don't even have slingshots no more. We still. I made tons of friends in the last 10 years. And if you see Queen, I don't talk to everybody. Like, I'm going to give you a prime example. Smitty. Everybody knows Smitty. When he first came around, he was following me. He like, "Bro, let me help you out." And I'm like, nah. And he came to Delaware, helped me out. And we came cool. And the first thing he said, like, "Bro, man, you need to shake some hands and kiss some babies." I'm like, "Bro, like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You deal with so many attitudes. It's like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm trying to run a show. But then I kind of got friendly with everybody and it's cool. But people always be like, "Yo, he's an asshole." Like, no, I stay to myself. So if I see you and don't say that, don't take it to heart, because it's like, I got 1,000 other things to do. That's like Jack. Jack won't answer the phone for nobody, right?
That's why I say.
They be like, "Well, how you get a hold of Jack?" I'm like, "Bro, like, me and Jack was cool. I slept at his house, and like, me and Jack, like brothers. We go head to head. We gonna argue, we fight. Jack did my Jeep for me. I came down there, I argued with this guy. I was like, "Man, I ain't going no fucking where. Put me in a hotel." He's like, "Man, just stay at my house." The house he's selling now, I stayed in that house. Am I lying, Jack?
Yeah.
So you gonna bump heads, but that's what it was. It was like, I would never asshole. It was just people don't understand you. So I never put myself up there. I'm with everybody, but sometimes when people start feeling themselves like, "Yo, I started this shit." That's it. I put everybody on.
Understood. Can y'all say maybe you should just take it to just 2 shows a year?
Yeah, that's what
everybody.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, Jack said that last year. Yeah, And maybe I do a beginning and then the end. You know what I'm saying?
Bam, yes.
Honestly, it would be cool if we could all get out our ego and just do one big show for everybody.
Never happened.
That's what this is why I learned the shows from.
Too many egos.
Shows from Ivor. I'm gonna tell you what Ivor said to me when we went down to Maggie Valley 2016. He was like, yo, I like what you're doing, but that ain't for down here. Ivor was just straight shot. It was no harm to nobody. It was Maggie Valley was for the white people. We was the only black people down there. You know, and it was like when we came down there, you asked Jack, man, we was finding strip clubs, we was finding the waterfall, we found everything. And Ivor was like, hey, they want to stay here. Nah, people want to ride. You know what I'm saying? So we went down there and took that shit to a different level. And he was like, yo, you should do this. And when I was watching him, I was like, all right, cool. But you gotta understand, we didn't care for the vendors and all that because everybody bought what they bought.
Right.
They had me. They was calling down there to get stuff from Jack. So our shows was more for just networking, getting together, having fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then you got people start complaining like, "Oh, we want vendors." All right, cool. Let's go. So yeah. So like I said, we could go on and on with this stuff. But yeah, I just if we could get together and just do one show, cool. But if not, everybody respect everybody date, then we won't have to argue with the nonsense that goes on in the community because the community is lopsided. Nobody wants to talk about it. The shit is lopsided.
It is.
I'm saying
all know that people just don't speak on it.
But see, people don't want to speak on it because they don't want to. They don't want to look bad. They don't want to look bad. They don't want to tell the truth and then be like, "Oh, well, we ain't fucking with Queen because Queen said we was wrong." You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people throw rocks and hide their hands.
Right.
So it's like to me,
don't we know that?
Since everybody watching, I said it like, listen, 2026, man, if y'all want to do shows, just respect somebody's date. That's it. Because that way everybody could have fun. Because like even Jack Long just said it. Jack Long just made a post. It's goofy when people call you and say, man, don't go to this person's show.
That is beyond goofy.
No, people do it. People do it. I didn't see people pay other people not to go to other shows.
Wow.
I didn't see people call and say, hey, come to this show, we'll pay you. I seen it all. You know what I'm saying? I heard it all. But next year, man, listen, respect everybody. Let's have fun. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only way I come back out. But I'm not coming back out to this bullshit no more because it's too much bullshit. And then it's like we arguing over stupid shit. Like we grown, man. Like
absolutely.
This shit supposed to be for fun. That shit was, if you ask the people who came out 15, 16, 17, all the shit that going now is lame to a lot of people who was from 18 and down. No disrespect.
Right.
No disrespect to nobody, but everybody tell you, we was having fun. Think about it. We done took all the white boys to the black clubs and asked
I was the only white guy.
You was the
only one. Yeah.
We had fun. Even in DC, the guys in there came from Cleveland, Ohio. They had a ball. I got locked up that time because somebody did a donut and messed up the mural in downtown DC. They called me. What 8 months later? It was like, yo, you had an event. I'm like, no. They were like, yeah, you had an event. Somebody said this. We got a warrant for your arrest. I was like, all right.
What?
No way.
Jesus.
Property in DC, yeah.
Like, hey, was one of the white boys that came from Cleveland? Was it Crazy? What?
No, not lazy. Not lazy.
No, lazy. Was it King Lazy?
Oh, lazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot his name. It was him and his wife, and then it was like 4 more. They had a good old time in the club. You know what I'm saying? We had Jamie Roy in the club. Like we used to have fun. You know what I'm saying? It was never about who had the most money or who had the most likes or who had a big group. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that.
Sure wasn't.
Monique Washington, I still wore my SS 22 shirt. I still
Right here, Jimmy. Look, right.
I ain't got one. You know. But,
So Jimmy, so sooner or later, no one's gonna be able to get an SS Takeover belt. That's what I'm. Jack. That hurts, Jack. That hurts, Jack. It hurts.
It just doesn't feel right, you know.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah. Sooner or later,
Jimmy has to do at least one show a year, whether it's the final or the beginning.
Yes.
Or, if not two, that would be perfect.
Only if we could all agree that if I set a date, there was no more dates right there, and I'm cool.
So two dates out of the year should be what you pick: a beginning one and an end.
I tell you what. Give me 3/12/26. Let's start it there.
3/12/26.
3/12/26. We're gonna do it in Florida.
Okay.
Start it in, and then
in Florida.
Go to Texas.
The end? Can the end be Texas? Did you say the end one can be Texas or the next one?
No, well then it'd be Sling Spurs, right? Because Sling Spurs in April.
I'm talking about just your shows. I ain't talking about nobody. I'm talking about Jimmy.
If y'all put if somebody from Texas called me and put on a show in Texas, I would come to Texas for the end of the year.
Okay, because I know you don't want to do them if you do 2 a year.
Listen, I do too. Somebody already called me from Florida.
Okay.
And then if Texas want to do number 2 at the end of the year, lock it in.
And that's your 2 shows.
Okay. A lot of people will sit online and talk. Alan,
absolutely.
Show. Everybody said they're gonna do a show.
Absolutely.
But only one person always called me and bugged me to do a show, and they tap in and they make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm coming as long as Tanya and Snow are bringing pouches.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, you already know.
I was looking at the chat. My twerking. Listen, I can't.
Were you on Facebook or YouTube?
Anything happens when I'm on pouches.
Yeah.
It's the pouch twerk. What Snow say? 3/12/26 Florida. Okay, Snow. All right.
Yeah, 3/12/26 is locked in.
And Jimmy, are you going to compete if you don't do shows? A Sling Life is asking, are you going to compete if you don't do shows?
No, because I'm gonna tell you why I ain't gonna compete. Right? Everybody got to understand this. My bike haven't been changed since 2021, right? I don't have 50,000, 30,000. It was told to, hold up. It was told to me if all the shops to get together and build me a bike, that'd be the best gift.
Okay, Jack.
They said Texas do this, and hey, listen, they could take the bike and do what they do.
Okay.
So,
each one of them put their own little spin on it, just like Brad do a little something, Jack do a little something, yeah. AP do a little something.
Because last time I competed, they told me I cheated.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Because it was my show. They said it. They did. So we did. See, this one it was real fun. It was only 2 classes. It was heavyweight, lightweight, and heavyweight. That was it. It wasn't no in between. It was either you win or you take your ass home and build it over again.
Yeah.
And Jersey had a lot of killers. You know what I'm saying? And Philly had killers. So it was this thing where it was Jersey versus Philly. And then just so happened Jersey ain't have enough people, so they put me on a Jersey squad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this one Milan had Diamond Audio had the bass. A lot of people was like, "Oh man, my bike was sounding like trash." Cool, no problem. They didn't know that I put my bike in the shop on the low, and it was crazy. So yeah, so they were like, "Oh, you can't play no more." So I never played ever again. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah. That's real fun because it wasn't no in between. You couldn't cry about this, cry about that. If you was lightweight, you was heavyweight. That's when that separated the big dogs. Right. And it's still only a few big dogs around from back in the day that's still here now. You know what I'm saying? Styles, James, Jack was around. Now Jose ain't had his bike then, but someone light him up. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow. All right, we got a super chat. Hold on, I got a super chat. I got a super
Ain't
chat
you
from
remember that
Snow.
when they did that.
From Snow, thank you, sir. Thank you for that super chat. Jack said, he says Jack plus pouches equal lemon twerk 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 lemon. Jack, you be twerking, man.
Oh, the Atlanta show was epic.
I'll never
You just be having a time, man. You be having a good time, man.
I'll never live that down.
You're never going to. It's on video, Jack. Like, damn.
Yeah,
Snow, leave Jack alone, Snow.
Yeah,
oh,
somehow,
Big Will telling Jimmy he cheated him. Stop it, Big Will. Stop it. Them pitch patches had Jack lit. I know. Yes, Pennywise. Yes, Lori or Corey. I'm not sure which one of y'all was speaking for Pennywise. He said them patches had him lit in ATL.
Yeah.
Wow.
that was a good time. You know what, though? I mean, here's the thing. So that's the kind of stuff where it brings it fun again. You know, like that's the stuff that these shows, some of these shows, you know, that I've been to lately, it's nice because we're not there just to compete and all this. We're actually there to enjoy, have fun.
Right. Laugh at each other.
We went to a couple shows we didn't even compete at. We just went and enjoyed, watched. And I will tell you, like, you know, that's the stuff that I miss from, like, what Jimmy was talking about from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But there are still, to this day, shows that are still doing cool stuff and enjoying and having fun, you know? You know, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of drama and a lot of blows when people talk about stuff and this and that, and it's like, but for the most part, I still think the community is pretty strong. I still think we can all, you know, kind of enjoy, and like I said, nothing phases me. I don't give a shit, you know. Like
I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat. Big Will said I cheated in Atlanta. No, Elvin.
Yeah, you see that? I told you.
Elvin cheated in Atlanta. Elvin cheated in Atlanta. Elvin was playing with a DSP in Atlanta. I ain't cheat, Will. I don't think.
No, that was Moet.
No, Will said that. But yeah, no. Joseph Jack, you and Terrell gonna have a twerk on?
You and him and who?
Terrell. You know, Terrell was the first one to twerk at he was the first. We got him.
I think you got him, Jack.
He's got me. I was never a stripper in my life.
Wow.
He was the first.
Yeah.
You know, I saw him at I forgot what show it was, but he was all dressed up. I think it was like the Sneaker Ball or something like that. Man, he was getting down. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
I was watching like the Magic Mike show on stage. Look,
Hey,
I'm
James.
that old white dude. I don't have moves like that. So.
James, I wanna ask you this and see if you know. Who was the first competitor on the SS Takeover to buy a buyback?
Oh, damn.
Bye.
Who was the first one ever to buy a buyback?
So I'm gonna say, based
Jack.
on the way you asked the question, it's gonna be All Star. But
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Oh.
That was me.
No,
Jimmy ain't gonna remember that.
I definitely can't remember that. That's
When did the buyback start?
shit.
Was that 2018 not Sling Experience, but Hey Queen.
Hey, watch it now. Hey, watch it.
I'm just saying.
No, that buyback ain't happening to maybe what? Were we in 25 now?
Yeah.
That was like maybe what 20,
20.
22?
Well, how did it come about, man? Somebody lost and said, "Hey, I got money." How did it come? How did the buyback?
Realize how much more money he can make.
No, you know what? See, people got to understand. These things does not start with me. I have the competitors coming in my ear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I can't say what competitor it was, but you know, we always had a PR person who who talked to everybody, and it was like, "Yo, I think you should implement this in your show. If somebody lose, we should give them a chance to buy back because they played the wrong song. Because you got to understand, like back then, it was a lot of bikes. The bass wasn't as bassier as like how it is now.
Right.
So the judges was like, you know, sometimes you get that bad judge, and it's like, yo, maybe I just played the wrong song. So they was like, yo, you should implement this in the show. And then, like you said, that's what they say. Well, hey man, you might get more money because you work hard. You gotta understand. People don't understand it. All these shows that I did this shit by myself. I ain't have no team. I ain't have nothing. Like it was just me. You know what I'm saying? Now the homies may work the door or, you know, help me here and there. But when it came to planning, looking for a venue, talking to people, all this, the belts, sponsors, all that was me. I ain't have a team. And like I told everybody else, I shout out to everybody else who do shows, bad teams and all this, but no one could compare themselves to me because I did this out the mud myself. I think I did 1 year, I did 14 shows in a year. You know what I'm saying? And it was no help. So that's why I started asking people like, look, y'all want to do shows? Y'all put on a show. I bring the people, XYZ. Like, I just host the shows because that shit started getting hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sling Life is, what are you saying? No, it was in 2018. What was in 2018? The buybacks? The buybacks wasn't 2018 because, Jimmy, you didn't start doing real, I don't say real competitions, but we didn't have a competition in 2018.
He did. He had a competition, but they weren't buybacks.
We had competition, but it wasn't no buybacks.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Ted, what is it?
It's a lot of. It's just Queen. This is a lot of history. A lot of history.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of the game is being told right now on Straight Up TV. Like Jimmy, what was the first way to break a tie? You didn't have a tie breaking list back then. What was the first way to break a tie?
I was reading.
But Ted said, I was trying to understand it. Maybe
oh no! Hold up. That, you know what? That was a hell of a show right there. That's when we was at Jack's shop. If I'm not mistaken.
That was an awesome event.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand, right? A lot of these competitors was real street guys. Like they were street guys. Like I think, what was his name? He was the Latin King. What was the boy who was Latin King? Tito. Was it
Tito?
Yeah, and it was like that shit was crazy. It was like he kind of got upset and was like he wanted to battle. He lost, and then he wanted to battle my bike. So I was like, come on, let's battle because back then I had a good bike. I had a strong bike, and he got upset and was like, man, fuck it, let's bet. And I'm like, I bet. So he was like, well, let's bet 10,000. And I was like, man, I ain't got 10,000. But this how dope it was though. My right hand man, my homie from Philly, because I always only rode with like three guys. It was Styles and Philly, Styles and Dame. Dame threw 10,000. Was like, well, let's bet it. And he got mad. And then it was about to be a fight. It was like they got upset. Like that's what Ted was talking about. Yeah, it was. But that shit was fun. Jack and Jimmy. Hold up, he said Jack and Jimmy was about to throw hands over a grudge. What year was this?
No, that was Tito.
Yeah, that was Tito. Yeah. But yeah, that shit was fun though. Like, you know, we chopped it up. Like I tell everybody, shit happens, and as men, we find the time to talk about it and chop it back up. You know what I'm saying? Like we pulled up to the gas station, ran down on them, we talked over, and we were like, cool. It wasn't that. I guess you gotta understand. People kind of get mad when you pull their card in front of everybody. Like we thought fuck me with the 10,000. It was like, nah, brother, hold up. If I ain't got it, my homie got it. So it was like it's there. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Big Wheel talking about. You remember when they used to pull judges out of the audience? Yeah, I remember that shit. You remember that?
Well, I think he's talking about when I asked Jimmy what was the original way to break a tie. I think he said. I think that's what Big Wheel talking about. I asked Jimmy what was the original way to break a tie.
I'm saying the original way was always like, you know, you play a different song because you gotta understand. Back then we really didn't have no ties. It was just like you win or lose. You know what I'm saying? It can't get to that cry when the ties when people start crying about stuff. And it was like, all right, cool. But like Will said, like, you know, we was picking judges. Like people got to understand the slingshot community, right? You got 300 people out here. Everybody love music. just because that's your man, you know, some people probably feel like, oh, they ride together, but we all friends, so it don't matter who judge. Like, you know, if you lost, you know if you win or you lost. Point blank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people just need an excuse to say why I lost, because I lost because Smitty didn't like it. Out of that was one of the craziest things about Slingshot community. Everybody hated Smitty at first.
Why?
They called him a truck driver. They was like, because he used to wear a little trucker hat, and then he big swole dude, little trucker hat. He really ain't talking to nobody, but he was a judge, and people thought he couldn't judge, so he got mad at that, and built a bike, and he beat everybody that year.
Yeah.
Everybody he played, he beat. It was nothing. He was like, listen, I'm gonna beat everybody just to make a standpoint. And then the next thing you know, everybody calling him for fucking songs and shit. So
yeah.
So people can't complain when it's like, why you pull this guy out of the crowd to judge? People know music.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember in 2022, somebody called me irrelevant.
Not irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
What'd you do, Jack? What'd you say?
Do tell, Jack. Do tell.
He had to build another bike.
I built Lemon Drop.
Oh, that's how Lemon Drop came about.
You understand? Well, you think about it, Jack wasn't even competing before Lemon Drop.
Right.
Yeah, in the beginning. In the beginning, I was, but then I went out for a long time. Yeah.
Right, because the game changed. The game changed crazy, because at first it was the big tombstone shit was loud, and then people started realizing, like, we could do horns, we could do tweeters, and we can make it musical. So it wasn't about being loud no more. Everybody found a way to make it musical.
Yeah.
There were different divisions. So
yeah.
I think I built a featherweight a couple times. London played a featherweight, like my daughter. You know, she's been around it since the very beginning too. You know, I remember she was in a car seat in DC at an SS Takeover.
Little helmet on,
riding around with me.
Wow.
Yep.
At the Ritz-Carlton.
We was eating breakfast together. Like I tell people, like, you know, Jack's still the homie. Like, you know, we go way back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you had these up and downs, you know, with friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but in the beginning, it was crazy. Like, she was a baby in a car seat. It was like, yo, this shit crazy. But it was like every year she just grew. It was like, yeah. But that's what I like about the Slingshot community. We all became family. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we did things outside the box without Slingshots. I used to call Jack, be like, hey bro, I'm on my way to Florida. He like, where you go? I'm coming to the house. We going on a boat. Ain't want to get on a boat. Let's go. Let's get on a boat. We went from the big ass boat to the little boat. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So
I still got them both rotting away in my yard.
Yep.
Yeah. No. It. Again, you know, everything's changing in the community, but there's still a lot of the really cool things that are going on. So, you know, I applaud the shows that, you know, that don't try to bring drama and try to make it more about going there and enjoying, you know. So that's it's a big thing. But I it'd be sad to see no more SS Takeover belts, that's for sure. So, you know,
can't lose focus no more. Everybody got to understand that we can't lose focus. The focus point is we should all be family. And the shit, it's supposed to be fun. It don't supposed to be. We like to compete, you know what I'm saying? And that's cool. Like, you know, want to be competition, compete, but it's supposed to still be fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I loved about it all.
Yeah, I'll start.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna call out a grudge.
Okay.
You versus Lucas.
Yeah. You know what, Jack? Lucas dodged me. He dodged me in Myrtle Beach. He dodged me at the kickoff at Atlanta. He keep dodging me, man. He keep dodging me. I don't know why.
His bike is going to be in Atlanta at the end of this month.
Oh, he's gonna be at the Sling Mania. Okay, then.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
So, I know that's your old stomping grounds. So.
Yeah, but he keep dodging me. His playlist ain't right.
Just saying.
Tanya said, "Here we go. Look, here we go." Big Will, what he say? Straight up TV battle him. Then battle who? Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas.
Oh, he's talking about
press play. At least battle the bike, you know.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I went against Big Will. Jack, you know what Big Will told me right before we went up against each other?
In Atlanta.
Yeah, and he said, "I ain't gonna take it easy on you." I said, "And you shouldn't."
Yeah, he's
and he did.
Big Will was important, Big Will ain't.
Queen, you ain't had to say that, Queen. You had to say that. You had to say that. Everybody knows me.
Have you heard Big Will since Houston? Since
No, I haven't heard Will since Memphis, actually.
Yeah, he's a whole different animal.
Yeah, I heard his bike sound good.
Yeah,
I told him I like this bike in Memphis when I saw his bike. Will ain't never want to play his bike. Will, I remember when I met Will. He was in Baltimore. You know, we used to go. I used to talk a lot of shit to Will.
Yeah,
his bike sound better than mine. They sound better now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. He said he was going to take it serious this year. So
yeah.
We'll see, but. You know, he's always parking. He's the one guy that's in the parking lot playing for 17 hours straight.
Damn.
Somehow doesn't blow too much. I don't know how, but you know, he always makes everybody nervous.
Jack,
does
Sarah like King of the Hill? Does she like King of the Hill?
She likes anything. She doesn't matter.
Yeah. Jimmy, did you invent or did you? Is that yours? Is that yours? King of the Hill?
No. For the slingshot, yeah, but not in general.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, but not in general. No.
Let me tell you, Cozy Custom. Cozy did something in Myrtle Beach. He started off King of the Hill, and I think he went through like 10 people before he lost at the end.
Yeah.
King of the Hill will really tell you what your bike could do. You know what I'm saying? But it's so King of the Hill is a gift and a curse, because the curse of it is you could beat 10 bikes and shit. If it's hot outside, that bike will end up overheat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That radio gonna overheat. You know, so it's a curse.
So James, are you saying if someone is in King of the Hill and they go through 9 or 10 bikes, it's respect? It's respect.
No, it's definitely respect. But the problem is when you get to the 11th person, he might beat you on the tacticality because your bike might go out. You seen it happen with James before. I seen it happen with major people. That's how you know you got a strong bike.
Yeah.
You know you got a strong bike.
So that 11 person really didn't win. They just got a gimme then.
Oh, don't get him started on gimme belts. You done open up a can now to gimme belts.
It's a lot of gimme belts out here, but
man.
Earned it. You know what I'm saying? You played, you earned it. I can't knock it, man. You earned it. You know what I'm saying?
What? Okay, Jack, what is the definition of a gimme belt in your opinion, Jack?
All right, my definition is this. If you go to a show and you enter a level that you normally don't enter because nobody else has entered to get a belt, that's a gimme belt.
That's a gimme belt.
But
let me break that down. So you're saying I never play up the heavy. I'm a middleweight. I never play up the heavy, but I don't see no heavyweights here today, and I play up from middle to heavy just to get that belt.
Yep.
Okay, I like that. I'll take that, Queen.
If
I like
it's
that.
your level or something you normally play, and you show up, and people don't show up, or they withdraw because they know you're there, or something like that. That's not a gimme because you're there, willing to battle no matter what, and your normal thing. So, but again, if you're a featherweight and all of a sudden there's no super heavyweight, and you play super heavyweight, and you win because nobody else showed up, that's a give me belt.
Right.
Now, if you play a super heavyweight and win, that's not a give me belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. That's again.
Yeah, I like that though, Jack. I like that.
Somebody said the best battle was 2017. Your White Sling and Jose from Bagger Boys. From Backyard Baggers. That was in
Joey.
Yeah, that was a strong bite.
Yeah,
that was the first slingshot with 4 kids in it.
That was the first slingshot BBL.
Yeah.
I know. Tanya's gonna get mad at me.
Tanya.
The very first slingshot with boxes going out or BBLs was Joey's bike.
Yeah,
it was Backyard Baggers back.
2017.
17, yeah.
He had the 4 he had the 14s in the motherfucker.
I don't know what he had.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he had 14s. 14s going across the back.
Oh, 410s. Okay, I thought you said a 4. Yeah. Yeah, and then he had a roof. Then he had a roof or a rack with speakers in it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but he's a big time builder in the bagger scene. Still is. I see him all the time at shows. And that's so there are some really good builders that that came from the bagger, dabbled, and then left. But I still see them all the time. So it's kind of cool. Like I go to a lot of bagger events just to check it out and listen to those machines because they're stupid impressive. So and you learn a lot. So
the slingshot's caught up though. The slingshot's caught up.
Oh my God, yeah.
At first when we did the slingshots versus baggers, they was whooping our ass.
They whoop our ass, yeah.
But now it's like we caught up with that shit and it's like they can't even compete with us no more.
Yeah. No, I mean there's still a few that do, but I mean, when
but again, it's a hard fight though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's gotta be again, you get some top baggers versus some of the top slingshots, yeah, that's a really good battle, but some of those average baggers will just still beat up the average slingshots, it's crazy the amount of sound that comes out of those things. So it's super impressive, but and that's the fun too. I know you did grudge matches back in the day, like baggers versus slings, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, Sarah does a lot of those things, and her true side comes out where it's not about winning, it's not about any of that. It's just having fun. And she goes out there and does those girl grudges and has the time of her life, and everybody does, that brings the bagger people in the community more and more. Like she'll walk around and people are like, you want to talk about Slingshot famous? They're like handing me the damn camera to take a picture of her and them. So, it's like
all right
the best thing ever. But that's the whole bagger scene community. That's where again, a lot of things that we learn as a slingshot community get from them too. So,
Hey, I want to play a game with James and Jack. Queen, this is gonna be fun. All right, so I'm gonna name a competitor, and you guys give me one word when I say the name. Just give me one word, whatever comes to your mind when I say a competitor. Here we go. The first name we're gonna say is Bumblebee. What's the word?
Bumblebee?
Yeah.
What's the word, man? Give me the first word. Give me the first word. All right, we skip Bumblebee.
Yo,
What Jack got?
I said, I'm singing the song he always plays.
We go. Oh, the next word, Dirty Bird.
Dirty Bird? Oh, Kenyatta?
Yeah.
Oh my God. 612s.
Mr.
Atlanta.
All right. King Kong.
Oh shit.
Base.
Duracell.
Let me drop.
Jack.
Sarah.
Pun.
What?
Dancing.
Yeah, you're right.
King New Shoes.
Playlist.
Beast.
Beast.
He's coming.
Louisiana.
No, what Jack say? He coming? Because we wait.
Coming.
We waiting.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was cool.
That's it. Them all the names you got.
Yeah. I didn't want to put them through it. They wasn't.
Let me give a name.
Go.
Monique.
Messi.
What you say?
Oh my God, I should not be laughing. She gonna kill me. Jimmy.
That's Mo. Love Mo.
Damn it, I guess I walked into that one.
Yep, definitely did.
Damn.
Black Mamba.
Oh.
Heavyweight. Queen heavyweight.
Queen heavyweight.
15s.
I concur. Who else?
Bounty Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Depending who play it though.
Corinne.
Korean.
Whoever seen JR play it? I'm
played
sorry.
before?
I know I probably came around late, but
She plays it better. She plays it better.
Yeah, she plays it better, but JR played it though.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm
Yeah, he
sorry,
did.
JR. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did.
JR played it. They said they have a slingshot event July 19th in Houston. I'm sorry, I know I'm off topic.
Yeah, you good.
In Houston.
Yeah, somebody just called me on my other phone, said they having a slingshot event in Houston. Something going on July 19th.
Big O. You don't want this, Big O.
July 19th? No. Yeah, let me not say no. Hell, I don't know. What is July 19th? I know Space City's in September.
I don't know. They said some company Polaris or something doing something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I like it off the phone. I'm coming down there for Bill having his 50th birthday party.
Who is?
Bill.
Oh, Bill Brown. Yes, he sent me an invite. Yes, he is having his.
If you got invite, you got to be there.
Right, I know, because if I don't come, oh Lord,
you got to be there. So I'm coming from DC to come to Houston.
Okay, Bill Brown, original DJ battle. If anybody know about Bill Brown, and you got to be from back 18 and on, or
Jack. Hey Jack, some of my competitors are on here right now. But Jack, you was telling me about those new boxes that I can get, Jack. Can we talk about that? The new boxes that are designed if you don't have a mini stretch to give you the same base or around the same base, Jack. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, the Beast BLs.
All right. Big O, you hear that? All right. See, Lucas don't know what I'm doing right now.
Is Big O talking noise? Big O, I know you ain't talking noise. I seen your comment earlier.
Jack, are they ready? Jack?
Yeah, they're ready.
Oh God.
They're ready.
What is All Star doing? All-Star, what you talking about? You must get some more work.
Listen.
All Star.
Hey, listen. Me and Jack had already talked about this. This is something he just came out with. It's all good.
You see what Big O said? All Star. Long wait for nothing. You better stop it, Big O. You better sit down, Big O.
Yes, sir.
Look at D Nice. Please stop.
What do you say?
He goes, please stop.
Yeah. All right, guys, man. Listen, man. We got up to like 60, but we have 52 right now. If you guys have anything you want to say to the Slingshot community, man, any announcements, celebrations or anything like that, the floor is yours, James and Jack, if you guys want to say anything. And then I'm going to get you out of here. I appreciate you live streaming with us for 2 hours and 4 minutes, man.
Yes.
So right now, the floor is yours. Me and Queen are going to be quiet. You guys to say what you want to say.
You want to go first? Okay. You want to go first, Jack, or me?
No, go ahead. I don't even know what to say.
All right. Now I want to thank everybody for putting me where I'm at right now. Everybody who always supported me from day one until now. I don't know what All Star did the 15 to 20 because it's 25 and we still on top of our game. You know what I'm saying? If y'all around August 15th, see the DC pull up. I guess it ain't the last ride. Well, it is the last ride because we only gonna do 2 shows a year next year.
There you go.
The other one show will be 3/12/26. I don't know when last show will be, but yeah, like I said, thank everybody. Want to say thanks, Jack, for taking my bike and turning it into something epic. Like I was the first one with snakeskin seats. You know what I'm saying? But
Those
thank
are
you.
ridiculous.
We had a long run, brother. Like it been long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to thank everybody. Thanks all Scott and Queen for putting me on the podcast. I know last time I get on here, I was going through a lot of shit. So, you know, shout out to everybody else. Like I say, if it's only one thing I ask for is everybody get on one page, everybody stop the bullshit. Because I built something that I don't want to see go down after 10 years. So other than that, thank you guys. I'm out.
All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Jack, it's yours, baby. It's all yours, Jack.
Everything Jimmy said. No, but I mean, I'll start with Jimmy. I told him earlier, like, you know, if it wasn't for him, I mean, he definitely helped or propelled us on the slingshot scene. Yes, we were making pods. That's how we found out about each other. Like, he reached out and like, who is this guy? Like, Table Boys, that was his thing. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, partying all the time, you know? And that, again, you know, I used to hang out with a bunch of cool people, and you know, it was cool to link up with him, and then just to enjoy what he brought to the community back in the day, as far as, you know, just something different that nobody else was doing. He started it, and you know, he's still here to this day. So, you know, you talk about longevity. I mean, it's 10 years. Survived through the bullshit, you know, through great times, bad times. Mm-hmm. And that's what, you know, I want to say the same thing. Just thank you to everybody that has supported our family and, you know, at UAS, and just trusted us and trusted their lives with us, trusted what we come up with, and continue to push us to create new products. So, you know, like I said, you know, we enjoy what we do, and we love bringing new things to life, and we just want to keep going for a while, and that's really about it. So again, I want to thank you guys also for even having a podcast about back in the day, because I think a lot of people are new and don't know and don't understand how it started, what started, how it went. I mean, yes, you know, there are other people that, you know, did it back in the day. Some are no longer doing it, some are still around, you know, but you know, it again, there's something to be said about OGs and people that starts things and go from there. And then there's something about when people are still around and still enjoying it, still putting forth an effort. You know, I mean, you know, our you know, Jimmy doesn't do it all for the money. I joke around, you know, talk shit about Jimmy all the time, you know, like, you know, about he's just, you know, he just wants those buybacks, you know, like you know, he just wants the buyback money, you know. But I mean, you know, again, like, none of us do it for the money in this community. I mean, there's way, you know, our company does completely different stuff that's way more lucrative for us. We truly do it because this is our family and this is what we enjoy, you know. So we again, thank you to everybody, and you know, hopefully we have slingshots keep going, and you know, as soon as the slingshots restyle, we'll be the first ones with everything for there.
There you go.
Made in the USA, baby.
Put that plug out there, Jack.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you again, and we'll get you out of here. Peace.
Thank y'all for blessing SUTV with your presence.
Thank you, Queen.
Absolutely. Hey,
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Why you chose 2015 to 2020? Are you going to explain? Because again, like Jack and Jimmy said, they still going.
Yeah. So 2015, like I said in the beginning of the show, that's when 2014 is when the concept came out. 2015 is when they started offering for sale. So 2015 to 2020 is when Polaris was pretty much laying the foundation of the slingshot. We were all trying to figure it out, and these two gentlemen here were already in their bag of what they're going to do. You know, there was only one Jimmy. There was not 2-3 Jimmys. There was only one Jimmy. So he was one of one. Jack, on the other hand, was one of one. He was making parts. He was creating parts, producing parts, and these parts were flying off the shelf. If you listen to what Jack said about, he showed up at Jimmy's event, opened up the back door, and just sold out of everything. So all this was happening between 2015 and 2020. And then 2020 is when Polaris even said that in 2020, they opened up another era. They felt like they changed the engine. They made it automatic. That's when they gained their wings, and they began to do different things to the slingshot. So that's when it was like a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge about the slingshot. But from 15 to 20 is when there was not a lot of knowledge, and these two gentlemen here were making big moves, bringing people together. I mean, Jimmy went to jail 3 times.
You know, I mean, goddamn,
I mean, for the slingshot.
Yeah.
You know. So that's why I chose 15 to 20.
Okay.
Here's a slide right here. But I have some other slides too. This is a 2020. 2020 is when, you know, like I said, they changed the automatic. They even changed the engine. A lot of things happened in 2020 when Polaris, you know, felt like they had enough of experience with it and they knew what direction they wanted to go to. And as Jack said, when they started making that automatic, man, he was knocking them stretches out left and right.
Knocking them down. Yeah.
So, like I said, it wasn't a knock on anybody else's out there. But like I said, in 2016, I was at the first SS Takeover. I seen the movement that James had going on, SS Takeover. I seen Jack at the event with the slingshot being innovative and having all the slingshot owners looking at his slingshot as he was with us riding through the city of Atlanta. So Jack was a standout. He was a trendsetter. What he did was he created what he created and brought it to the event. So we got to see it. And then everybody flooded the gates trying to get what he was creating. So those two guys had an impact on the slingshot community from 15 to 2020.
Absolutely.
So and like Jack was kind of saying, some of the people, individuals that were back in the beginning are not doing slingshot stuff no more.
Right.
So, but these two gentlemen here are still in the game heavily, still recognized for slingshot movement.
Yep.
So it wasn't a knock on anybody. I just wanted to recognize those two guys.
Yeah. No, because I just know I had seen comments of why you stopped at 2020. So.
Yeah. No, that's all it was. That's all it was. So, hey, I want you to tell me about, you drove your slingshot 3 hours or 3.5 hours to the sling day?
I drove my lovely slingshot, my ride or die, my dethrone, me and dethrone carried the Texas Queen all the way down to Crosby, Texas, which took me about 3 hours to drive that Slingshot by myself, mind you.
Yeah.
And
now, when was the last time you drove that far? When was the last time?
Beginning of last year. Because, I had such a traumatic last year. I haven't gotten to drive that Slingshot like that in over a year. It's been over a year have I been in it for that long. I have not been in it that long. And it was great. I remember, look, all the memories of coming back like, God damn, I had to get up early to try to beat that sun because I'm one of those ones that's still topless. I just want to be topless. I don't like the tops. But in this Texas heat, I might actually get one. But it was a great ride. I left at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was an overcast all the way there till I got to Katy, and I still had about 40 minutes to go. Then the sun wants to come out and be like, nah, heifer, you just get a little bit of the sun. I even got a sunburn, like I feel like on my face, or I'm a little darker, a couple of darker shades. But yes, and when I got there, y'all see what they graced me with. I became a sling doll. And I love those ladies for that. It was just all love. I appreciated them. Now that DJ battle that they had was epic. Y'all think when Game Changer came out and did his smoke, it ain't that anybody did anything amazing like that. It was just, I think this was the longest DJ battle of all events. Because Bluetooth and Flossie was not letting nobody else in. It was about 6 competitors.
Wait. Bluetooth and Flossie took over the whole DJ battle.
They took over the DJ battle.
So what did the other competitors do? They just stopped playing?
Shit, stopped playing and started being spectators like the rest of us.
Wow.
Them two was going head to head. Y'all, when I say this battle lasted at least a good 30 minutes, the DJ battle. 30 minutes of back and forth. And you could only play 80s and 90s music. You couldn't play anything other than that. You could only play 80s and 90s. But it was just something about this battle. It had everybody, man, we was doing the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, the Funky Chicken, and everything else that came with that era. And it was great. It was fun. It really was. That was one of the biggest highlights to me was that damn DJ battle. It was great. And it was vendors galore. Oh my God. When you put it back on the big screen, I want to shout out one of the vendors to this beautiful lady that I got this from. But what else was going on with there? And then, of course, I had to bring that ride back home 3 hours. It was good. I'm gonna say this. I really feel like you gentlemen, y'all really need to start looking out for us ladies. I know there's a bunch of females, and I see Phoenix in the comments, and thank you, Phoenix, because she do it all the time. We travel by ourselves, and y'all really need to start thinking about, okay, hey, so Queen, you coming there? All right, instead of saying you're gonna see me there, how about, well, hey, you want me to meet you halfway? Can I check your bike out for you, sling out for you? I mean, I did it myself. But y'all start thinking about us ladies that actually come to these events and grace these events with our presence by ourselves. Like, come on now. All of us don't have a Byron.
Oh my God.
I know I'm just messing with Tanya and Black and Byron, but some of us, it's just us. So y'all think about us. Y'all text us. Make sure we good. Ask us for our what do you call that? Where we track. And y'all can see where we're going, like share our route in case something happens to us. I be thinking I'm really badass, but I'm still a lady and things can still happen. And, I don't want to be on the side of the road doing things by myself. So I'm just throwing that out there because that was just kind of how I felt. Ty said, damn Queen. Ty, I love you and Byron.
Is she on Facebook? She on Facebook?
Yeah, no, she's in the chat. Yeah. She's in the YouTube. She know what I'm talking about, though. And what Snow say? Snow, I did have a bunch of y'all checking on me, and I was so happy for that. I appreciate that. And thank goodness my Slingshot is still in top shape, and it's a 2017. Yeah. So I had no issues coming, and I had no issues going back. So it was great. And I can't wait.
You left early enough?
I left early, baby. And me, on my days off, I don't like getting up early. Also, how many times you call me? I'd be like, man, honey, call me back. Look, it's too early. Call me back. Don't be calling me early. So I got up at 6:15 each day. I mean, it's Friday and Saturday, just so I can make sure I did not get in that damn sun. I was not trying to. Ooh, this is the new standing. Look.
Yep. That's the new standing.
Look at the suit man on there.
The suit man. So we had this is the Sling Nick. This is a scorecard for the Sling Nick event that just happened with the Sling Dolls, right? The microphone voice was Sean Hudson. The event judges were Albert H., Vernon Gregory, and Dexter. Those were the judges. Now, featherweight went to E Money. Lightweight went to the Suit Man. Welterweight went to Flossie. Middleweight went to Black Mamba. Heavyweight went to Snow. The LED went to El Chucky. And the Clarity King was Snow.
Go Snow.
All right.
And I'll start. Nobody's got two yet for the Clarity King or Queen. No, we don't have two yet.
Nope. We got everybody got one. Okay. It is what it is. I was surprised myself that I wasn't changing the name. I mean, I don't want to change the name, but I thought I was double checking to make sure it is what it is. But yeah, that's what it is. Okay. We only got 5 events. We only been at 5 events. So
you're right. We
got quite a few more to go. So I'm sure we'll get some changes going on. But I want to say congratulations to E Money, Suit Man, and Flossie and El Chucky, because they're new names, they're new competitors that are on the scorecard. So I don't know if they're subscribers. I don't know if they're tuned in, but shout out to E Money, the Suit Man, Flossie. Well, Flossie's been on here, and El Chucky.
Yes.
Shout out to those guys.
All right. And the Suit Man, if y'all didn't know, he's the Dallas Cowboy bike that's out of Dallas. And they actually have a statue for him at the stadium. Wow. We're going to get him on the show. I was going to tell you about that All-Star, that we need to talk to this man. He has a story. And his bike is definitely recognized down there at the Cowboy Stadium. So
really.
And again, they got a statue for him down there at that Cowboy Stadium. So he's probably somebody we want to talk to, interview, because he has a nice sling. Yeah. And I can't believe that them words came out of my mouth because it has Cowboys all over it. But anyway.
So shout out to the Sling Dolls for their
ladies. Event. Yes.
Yeah.
Great first show.
I ain't heard nothing about the topless beach. I ain't heard nothing about them why was bringing them $1 bills. The $1 bills.
Okay, so look.
The $1 bills. I didn't hear nothing about the $1 bills.
So look, the $1 bills, I didn't bring them at first either. Okay. But when we got there, I was like, okay, Miss No Doubt.
No Queen, doubt.
We got a special assigned seat for you. What? A seat for me at the table, at the floor of the strippers. I was like, okay, cool.
Wait. So they gave you a special place during the striptease?
Yes, they wanted me right there front and center. So they had an assigned seat for me right there by the stage.
Wow.
I said, come on, Snow. I grabbed, come on, Snow, let's go. You come up here with me so we can sit right here and watch these beautiful ladies do their thing. Now, as the show is going on, I'm getting hyped. Hey, because there's ass everywhere, right?
Wow.
I picks up my chair after I get my ones and go sit right there in the middle of the floor on the dance floor.
Okay.
And then I had a threesome. There was a threesome going on. There was ass here and ass here and ass here, and I'm just having fun. Then my girl Flossie comes right behind, and she right there at the stage, and we having fun.
Wait. Tanya, Black Mama said you made it rain.
I made it rain on that ass.
Wow.
I made it rain. Yes. I had a ball. I enjoyed myself at the Sling Nick, aka
Yeah.
Used to look Crosby Freaknik.
Yeah. Wow.
It was great. It was a great time. It was all in fun. I went to support, and that's exactly what I did. I went to support, and it was good. I liked what the ladies did. It was their first one, so of course, everybody with their first one have hiccups. So y'all, let's not bag on them too much because we all have hiccups about judging and stuff like that. But you know, they were open to critique. They were open to criticism. They was open to it all. So that's how we grow and we learn. The ladies will be ready for their event next year, just like we all when it's our first one. So nothing to complain about. I enjoyed myself. Even the hotel was nice. It was a sleep in.
What?
Okay, now I know y'all try to say sleep in. We know what that means. Not this one. This sleep in was nice. I don't know if it was remodeled, but it was a nice clean and it smelled good when I went in there. Even the hotel was nice. I don't know what the travel lodge looked like because I was smart enough to book at the host hotel.
Right.
So it was a great event. It was nice. I applaud you, ladies. You did great. Oh, wait, I forgot to talk about the chain. That's why I got this on. Now, mind you, this is the chain that they gave out, but they gave out 2 of those. So this is not it, but I'm trying to, y'all see some little bling in it.
Yeah.
They gave out 2 of these type of chains, not this, but what the chain looked like. And then they had Slicknick. So literally right where this word is at, when my chain hooked on there, that's how big that damn chain was that says Slicknick. Yeah. That Flossie won. When I tell y'all, Flossie came down to Texas. Flossie came down to Texas and showed the hell.
So that was a grand champion chain.
She was the grand champion.
What did she win? She won
welterweight.
Welterweight.
DJ battle.
DJ battle.
The furthest traveled. She won best in show.
Damn.
And then she won the Sling Dolls, I think, grand trophy because she had like 5 things. She had a chain, belt, 3 trophies, and a necklace. And tell me if I'm missing something, Flossie, but baby, Flossie came and cleaned the hell up. Okay. Yeah. And then they had a mini version, maybe to about right here, of a Slicknick chain, and Snow won it for runner-up. So Snow won, it was blinged out. It was, a smaller version of the Slicknick going across, but Snow won that. And he also won the middleweight. And then he won the clarity. So Snow won 3 things. Jeez. Middleweight, clarity. I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah, he got a chain. So those ladies did it with all of the stuff that they had, like all the things they were giving out, the trophies, the belts, the chains, the necklaces, because they gave out 2. Oh, hold on. And Mr. Anthony Duncan, I know he probably like, don't y'all tell nobody about this. No, I'm shout it out, Anthony. I'm gonna tell you.
Blue pill?
Blue 2. Blue pill, old blue pill, blue pill.
Okay.
He's old blue pill, but he blue 2 new.
Yeah.
Anthony Duncan. Okay, and Miss Robin. Let me not forget about her because the story ain't gonna be right if y'all don't hear me. So Flossie and Blue 2 had to play again in the middleweight. They had a tie. The tie breaker song was, if y'all know what that Tap Out by Lil Wayne and Birdman, Tap Out. The whole song is raunchy, raunchy, and y'all know that. Y'all go look it up if y'all know what I'm talking about. It's raunchy. But Flossie plays it, bites down and bad playing it. Woo, because every minute, every you need something, you know the words to this song.
Yeah.
Miss Robin looked back at Tony and said, I know you ain't supposed to play that song. Almost reminded me of that Betty Wright song back in the day when her mama told you, I know you not gonna play that song. You remember that song? Baby, Miss Robin was not playing with Tony, but Tony has integrity. Tony has morals. He is spiritual. He does not play that type of music. So he did hold up the sound competition for a little bit. He held it up for a little bit, but he was determined to find a clean version of Tap Out. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, Tony, you're not supposed to find no clean version of no damn Tap Out. Not that damn song. Lo and behold, he found a clean version to Tap Out. And he played it.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Wow.
She got mad and when she gave me the pussy.
Yeah, that song is explicit.
Raunchy. So Tony was not supposed to play that damn song. Found a clean version. Only thing about the clean version is you know what it does, right?
Beep.
Beep. Been it in that beat. Buddha, beat. Buddha.
Yeah.
So of course, Flossie tapped that ass and she won. She won that one because Tony wasn't supposed to play that song. So, but the Sling Dolls, they loved that he stuck with his integrity. They loved that he said no, he wasn't gonna play that. He tried to, find a good one. They gave him and Robin a chain for just sticking to the Sling Nick being a family friendly environment and a show. And so they gave them a chain. I thought that was so sweet that Sling Dolls thought that much of him being dead set against playing that kind of music. Which again, you judges or you shows, y'all need to think about the music that y'all are choosing for tiebreakers, especially if y'all know kids are going to be around, because that definitely should not have been one. But anyway, so the ladies felt like they needed to make it right, and they did, and they gave Robin and Tony a chain, and that was beautiful. And they made a whole announcement and everything. So I'm telling you, Sling Dolls, I don't have too many bad things to say about y'all's event, except for that tap out. That tap out. That's all I would say.
All right, Queen. Well, we're finna get out of here, man. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes. Man, listen, I just want to recap that. This was an awesome live stream with the plug, James McCray and Jack UAS, man, because they were able to converse with us about the 2016s, the 2017s, 18s, 19s, and 20s, man. And a lot of history about the Slingshot was put on display right here on SUTV. So this is going to be one of the ones I'm going to cut up. I'm going to cut this one up, different parts, and I'm going to put it on Facebook and YouTube for people to, I'll probably label it the history of the Slingshot. You know what I'm saying? Something like that, just those important parts that people need to know how this came about. Because I didn't know Jack made 5 slingshots for Shaq. I didn't know. I just thought it was 2. I thought it was 2. And I didn't know Jimmy went to jail. And,
exactly that many times.
The story I always heard was he went to jail doing Times Square, But he said it happened 2 more times.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, our history.
I see what you say about a cat. Somebody felt good saying that name. No, it didn't. I'm just gonna wash my mouth out with mouthwash and bleach.
Yeah.
Tanya, I forgot to tell y'all that Snow Chain was I don't know if his head was too damn big, but he couldn't put that chain over his head. Thank you, Tanya, for reminding me. Snow couldn't put that chain over his big ass head. But okay, y'all, because I can talk about that event all night, y'all. It was a great event. I see you, Pandemic, watching. Pandemic was there, taking numbers, kicking butt in the middle.
I haven't seen Pandemic and Cruella in a while, man.
They both was there. There was Friday, and then Pandemic came and played on Saturday. So yes, Pandemic, your bike is sounding freaking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Queen, do you have your shirt? I was looking for my shirt. This shirt. You got that shirt?
It's right here. It's right on my Texas thing.
No. We just got it. We got it in Atlanta.
Right.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna wear that tonight. I didn't see it in my closet.
Right there.
You're not gonna wear that one?
I wore it, but of course, I'll take it down and wear it again if you want to. But
where did you wear it to?
I have so many other shirts. Oh, and I want to make sure I give a shout out to Slingshot Sisters. Do y'all see that? Y'all know I'm a cowgirl. Y'all know I'm a Texan. Look. Isn't this hat beautiful? And then I think on the back it has it, but it just fits my head. So thank you, Miss Alma, Miss San Antonio Queen.
They spoiling you. They are spoiling you,
look at there. Y'all see that hat? How you doing?
They spoiling you.
How you doing? I love it. I love this hat. Yes.
Yeah. Let me get up my... So the next event, guys, is King Lazy Lay, guys. King Lazy Lay. King Lazy Lay, guys. Let me put this up just to show you the next event. The next event is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Wild Kingdom Sling Cycle Fest. Columbus, Ohio, guys. That is the next opportunity for you guys to get on the scorecard. The next opportunity. Listen, if you need more information about this event, go to Facebook and look up Crazy Sling. Oh, Sling Crazy. Sling Crazy.
Right. The event is June 20th through the 22nd.
Yep.
Columbus, Ohio.
All right, Queen. We're finna get out of here, man. 2 hours and 34 minutes. Another banger.
It was.
All right. Who do we still? Are you still on Facebook with it?
Yes, there's still people on Facebook. I see Boss Lady. I see Tamika.
Go ahead and shout them out. Go ahead and shout them. If they still on here right now, go ahead and shout them out.
Yeah, so Hope. Hey, Hope. I hope
What's
is
up,
on
Hope?
here. Yes, Miss No Doubt. And then Henry. Tamika LaShawn. I think I'm saying that right. She's on here. She said Boss Lady. Still on the card. LED lights. Okay, Miss Boss Lady.
Boss Lady. That was the Big Easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Toy Brooks. Hey, Miss Toy. I ain't seen that name in a minute. Hey, Miss Toy. Nice to see ya. Zach. Hey, Zach. Kenyatta's on here. There's a Leland Jones. He said, what y'all really think about the LA sling scene? What do we think about the LA scene? Sling scene? We don't know that much about it. But let me tell y'all, Miss Flossie is representing hard for y'all. That's all we can really tell y'all about the LA sling scene is that Flossie is repping damn hard for y'all. I don't even know if we would have known anybody else over there on that side if Flossie hadn't started coming this way. So I don't know what you're asking us about, what we think. Russell Schuler, LJ, Bubba B, Miss Mama Duck, Kevin. Oh, I didn't even see Miss Cynthia Armour pull up in here. Okay, Miss Cynthia. She said, really? Was he the first? Like, was he the first one? I think she's talking about Jarrell. Okay. And then what's his name? Mr. With that badass bike all-star. We had him on the show a couple of times. It's that green and Al Keithan Thomas.
Oh, you talking about Cut Up.
Mr. Cut Up. Yes. Hey, Mr. Cut Up. Yes.
What's up, Cut Up?
Mo Benzo. And then B Doctor on here too. But Big O ass gonna say, did I take something? Because I'm calm this show. Shut it down, Big O. Shut it down. And Timothy Moss. Hey, Mr. Timothy Moss. I see you in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Constance Smith. Now that sounds like a new name.
That's Soldier. That's Soldier Girl.
Oh, okay. Hey, Miss Constance Smith.
ATL. Okay. Soldier Girl.
Right. And Jonathan Kerrigan, he was watching way early, and I meant to shout him out because he know I love his little boy. Oh my God, I love little Jaden. Okay. And he said, what did he say? All-star. Great job, buddy. Queen. Nice work, home slice. I can't with you, crazy. Crazy lays. Crazy lazy lays.
Mm-hmm. All right, Queen. We out of here, man. Thank you guys. You guys like the video for me. Please like the video for me, guys.
Like, subscribe, please, please.
All right. We out of here.
Goodbye.
Listen, I thank you guys for taking time, man, to get on Straight Up TV, man. I am your Slingshot platform, man, for YouTube. Anytime you feel like you want to come by, man, if you have a conversation, man, if you have something to say for the betterment of the Slingshot community, man, please contact me and come on the show, man. So let's close out. Let's close out with everybody,